A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, the story of two small boys who carry death in their pockets. We call it Two Platinum Capsules. So now, here is tonight's suspense play, Two Platinum Capsules.
The story you are about to hear is based on fact. It happened. It involved the lives of 6 people. That sound is being made by a Geiger counter, a device for detecting radioactivity. It plays an important part in the following events. The place, a city in Northern California. Population, 41,300. For Johnny Murphy, age 11, the day started like any other day. The time, 8:36 a.m.
Apple core. Baltimore. Who's your friend? The mailman. Here goes.
Hey, here you boy. You stop that.
You weren't even close. I could have hit him if I wanted to. Johnny Murphy. Yeah, Mom. Come here. I'll be right back, please. What do you want?
Come up here. I saw you throw that apple core at the mailman.
I didn't hit him, Mom. I didn't even try.
Don't ever let me catch you doing anything like that again. Now, come inside. Your father's home.
Yes? When did you get back?
Just a minute ago.
Hi, boy.
Did you find some uranium pop?
No, not this time.
We didn't expect you home until tonight, George.
Well, I woke up with a lousy cold yesterday. And on top of that, the water can sprung a leak. Didn't even have enough to make coffee before I left camp last night.
Oh, there's someone still.
Hey, Pop, let me listen to the Geiger counter.
Not now, Johnny. Your father's tired from driving all night.
Please, Pop, just for a second.
Sure. Okay. Now.
Oh, gee. Is that how it sounds when it's near uranium?
No, it clicks a lot faster. So they tell me.
I'll fix your breakfast, George.
Scramble 'em, huh, man?
Hey, Johnny, come on. Hey, Pete's waiting for me, Pop.
Okay, boy, you run along.
Johnny, you'll be home for lunch.
Okay, Mom. Where are we going?
I don't know. Where you want to go?
I don't know.
Hey, how about to my house?
Nah, nothing to do over there.
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know. Something. Hey, I listened to my Pop's Geiger counter.
Yeah? What'd you hear? Uranium?
Oh, come on.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
Why don't we go down to that new dump?
Where?
The new dump the city opened. They're filling in that old gravel pit over near Afton High.
What do we do down there?
I don't know. Look around. See if we can find something, maybe.
Okay. But I gotta be home for lunch.
At 8:50, George Murphy, a part-time uranium prospector, sat down to eat his breakfast. 5 miles away, Miss Helen Webster, a registered nurse employed at the Middle Branch Hospital, entered the staff cafeteria. A few moments later, the administrator, Dr. Carl Hutter, stopped at her table.
Oh, How did you like working up in 222 yesterday, Miss Webster?
Fine, Doctor.
Burton didn't give you any trouble, did she?
Why, no.
Get along with her all right?
Yes, I think so.
She probably hates your guts.
Oh, but why?
When she's leaving next week, we've asked her to retire. She knows you're taking her place.
Oh, I see.
Did she explain everything to you carefully?
Very carefully,
Now,
Doctor.
we want you to take charge as soon as she's gone. Is that all right with you?
Yes, sir. It's very interesting work.
It could be dangerous. But if you're careful, there's no risk involved. Did Burton have you working with the real thing or the dummies?
For the dummies at first, and then she opened the safe. Those capsules certainly don't look dangerous.
They're killers, Miss Webster. Don't ever forget it.
Every large hospital has a room 222. Painted in bold letters across the lead-lined door are the words, Danger, Radioactive. When not occupied, the room is padlocked. At 9:14, Miss Elsie Burton, registered nurse, inserted the key in the padlock and entered the room. She opened the heavy safe and, using a pair of forceps, lifted a small metal box from it. She quickly placed the box on the table. Then, stepping behind a lead shield designed to protect her body from the contents of the box, she opened it. Inside the box were several platinum capsules, and each capsule was filled with radium. It was 9:27 when she picked up the phone to report 2 of the platinum capsules missing. 9:28. George Murphy had finished his second cup of coffee, glanced through the morning paper, and was watching his wife at the kitchen sink.
More coffee, George?
No, thanks.
You look awfully tired.
I am.
We got a notice from the bank today. The payment's overdue again
I know, May.
on that Geiger counter you had to buy. $160. When I think what I could have done with that money.
All right.
George, we can get along on your salary. We don't need $1 million. We can get along just fine on what you make at the gas station. If you'd only work instead of taking 3 days a week away, traipsing off goodness knows where.
Let's talk about it some other time, huh? I'm going in and lie down.
You close the bedroom door. I want the radio on while I do the ironing.
9:30. The 2 boys, Johnny Murphy and Peter Cowan, were approaching the city dump.
Hey, Peter, wait up. Come on, we're almost there.
Look. See it?
Huh? Doesn't look like nothing but a big hole in the ground.
That's where they took all the gravel from. They're dumping all kinds of stuff in that old pit now.
Hey, who's that?
Oh,
Over by the shack.
oh, I don't know.
Maybe he's a watchman.
You crazy? What do they have a watchman at a dump for? He'd steal junk.
Morning, boys.
You gonna answer him?
Are you the watchman?
That's right. You boys out exploring?
Well, kinda. If it's all right.
Oh, it's all right, providing you look out for the trucks.
Yes, sir. We'll be careful.
By 10:15, Dr. Hutter with Miss Burton and Miss Webster had made a preliminary search for the missing radium. It was not in room 222. A further check revealed that only one patient in the hospital was receiving radium therapy. According to the day chart, the radium used in the patient the day before had been returned to the safe. Nevertheless, the patient was examined, and the immediate area surrounding her bed carefully searched. The radium was not found. At 10:35, Dr. Hutter and the 2 nurses re-entered room 222.
I don't understand how it could have happened, Doctor. Could someone have taken it during the night?
No, even if they had a key to fit the padlock, Miss Burton is the only person in the hospital who has the combination to the safe.
You'll have all this responsibility next week, Miss Webster.
Burton, what time did you show the capsules to Miss Webster yesterday?
Just before lunch, Doctor.
Did you count the capsules before returning them to the safe?
Well, they weren't away from this table. I didn't think it was necessary to count them.
No, we've done all we can. I'll notify the insurance company. Let them send a radium hound up from San Francisco.
A radium hound?
Yes, a man who specializes in finding lost radium by using a scintillator or a Geiger counter. He'll go through the hospital carefully, and the counter will locate the radium.
Doctor, before you go, may I speak to you alone?
Certainly.
I'll be in the hall, Doctor. Doctor, you know I've never been one for carrying tales, but I refuse to take the responsibility for losing those capsules.
No one is blaming you, Burton. Accidents happen.
This was no accident.
Go on.
Doctor, I just happen to know that Miss Webster is engaged to a young doctor.
I don't see that has any bearing on the lost radium.
Let me finish. This doctor is setting up his own office, and I'm sure he'd be mighty grateful for a gift of 200 milligrams of radium.
Burton, you've been around here too long. You've soured.
Doctor, I just remembered something.
Yes, Miss Webster?
Well, the other night, Leonard, Dr. Perry, told me that one of his patients goes away every weekend to help uranium. Wouldn't he own a Geiger counter?
He might. Yes, see if you can reach him.
Yes, sir.
We'll take this building apart if we have to. Oh, Miss Webster.
Yes, sir?
Notify all hospital personnel of the loss immediately. If someone's picked up those capsules without realizing what they are, they're in trouble.
May Murphy had just tuned in the 11 a.m. news broadcast when the phone rang. Recognizing the urgency in Miss Webster's voice, she promised to wake her husband immediately.
George, you've got to wake up. George. George, they want you down at the hospital.
Well, what's the matter, Johnny? Something happened to Johnny?
No, not Johnny. They've lost some radium at Middle Branch Hospital. The nurse that called thought you might be able to find it.
Hand me a cigarette, will you?
Okay.
You got any hot coffee out there?
No, I'll heat it. Here.
Thanks.
Do you think you could find it, George?
I don't know. Maybe, if it's still in the hospital.
What does radium look like? You ever see any of it?
I wouldn't know radium if I tripped over it.
Atomic number 88. Atomic weight 226.05. Radium is an intensely radioactive element emitting strong gamma rays. It is used principally in the treatment of cancer to destroy malignant tissue. Unfortunately, the gamma rays cannot tell the difference between healthy and unhealthy tissue, making it extremely dangerous to handle. Unless caught in time, there is no cure for radium poisoning. Only a slow, lingering death.
Hey, mister, you know what time it is?
The time? Well, let's see now. It's 11:30.
You see? I told you it wasn't more than that.
Hey, you boys are too young to be worrying about time.
Well, he's always worried about something.
I gotta be home for lunch.
Did you find anything valuable down in the dump?
No, nothing that I wanted.
I don't know if what I found is valuable or not.
Well, let's see it. Can't judge what it's worth if you don't let me take a look at it.
I got them in my pocket.
Then?
Yeah. Two little pieces of metal. See?
Oh, yeah. Mighty nice. Looks like they might have been used for counterweights of some sort. Well, excuse me, boys. Got to tell that fellow where to unload.
We'll see you, mister.
You be careful crossing the street, you boys. Don't want to get hurt.
It was 12:30 when George Murphy arrived at the hospital. He was quickly briefed by Dr. Hutter, and the search started. Slowly, carefully, they walked through the sterile corridors, listening for any change in the normal count of the Geiger counter.
I understand you do quite a bit of uranium prospecting, Mr. Murphy.
Yeah, I guess I do. I usually take off from work at the gas station on Thursdays and come back Sundays.
Did you ever find any?
Not yet. I'm still hoping.
So am I. If you find this radium, I mean.
That valuable?
That deadly. There's always the chance someone has picked it up without realizing what it is. Something?
The background count was a little high, but it's gone down.
Oh.
Say, just what do those capsules look like, Doctor?
Oh, they're about 2 inches long, metal, approximately as big around as a thick lead pencil. Well, it doesn't look like it's up here. Come on, I'll buy you a cup of coffee.
Hey, Doctor, wait a minute.
Hmm?
I'm picking up some response on this thing.
Oh, that's from 222.
What?
We keep our regular supply of radium in 222, just ahead.
Oh. Well, I'm glad to know this thing works. Sure like to see it act up like that out in the desert.
Time, 1:40. After having a cup of coffee, the men continued their search. Drain pipes were examined. Trash and waste chutes leading to the incinerator. The incinerator itself, and finally the grounds surrounding the entire hospital were checked. At 4:15, as far as they were able to determine, they agreed the radium was not in or near the hospital. Dr. Hutter then contacted the trucking service that removed the non-combustible rubbish. The driver reported he had taken a load to the new city dump yard the previous afternoon. He was also sure the watchman of the yard would remember where he had unloaded. The time, 4:59.
There's the watchman's shack.
Doesn't look like anybody's here.
He's probably gone for the day.
Well, you want to look around? Might get lucky.
Yep, you better.
Funny.
What's that?
Well, when I'm shaving in the morning, I can usually see myself later in the day at the gas station working, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
I sure didn't see myself down here looking for a needle in a haystack. Well, I can't get anything on the Geiger, Doctor. The counter hasn't registered any change at all. You need a scintillator for this kind of job.
Well, might as well start back. I hate saying this, but I'm beginning to think Burton might be right.
Burton?
She's the nurse in charge of 222. She believes the radium was stolen.
Could be. I'd sure give $10 to know where it is.
I'd give a lot more just to know those capsules aren't poisoning someone.
Howdy. Help you fellas?
Oh, are you the watchman?
That's right.
We were looking for you about an hour ago.
I quit at 5, went to eat. Oh, I live out here. What do you want to see me about?
Do you remember a consolidated truck here yesterday afternoon?
Yes, I do. I had them dump out in Area 4.
Where's that?
Right where you fellas were standing when I first spotted you.
Oh. Well, thanks.
Hey, wait a minute. You still ain't said what you wanted to see me about.
Do you know what radium looks like?
No, can't say I do.
A couple of capsules containing radium were lost from the hospital. We thought they might have been carried out here.
Well, how would I know them if I did see them?
Well, about 2 inches long, little capsules of metal.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Where to now?
Would you mind dropping me off at the hospital?
Okay.
Say, hold on a minute.
Yes?
2 boys down here this morning. Should be something like that.
2 boys?
Yes, sir. I remember what they found. Looked like little counterweights.
Well, do you know the boys, either one of them?
No, never saw them before in my life.
Did they mention their names? Can you describe them?
No names, but I reckon I could give you an idea of what they look like.
Get in.
What for?
We're taking you down to the police station. We've got to find those boys fast.
By 7:30, the 2 radio stations in the city were broadcasting a description of the boys every half hour. An all-points bulletin had been relayed to the police substations and all patrol cars. The morning newspaper was setting up the story on the front page. There was nothing to do now but wait.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, Johnny?
Take a look at my leg, huh?
Your leg? What's the matter with it?
I don't know. It sort of burns.
You probably skinned it. Let's see. Well, there's nothing there. Just a little red is all.
Feels like it's burned.
Oh, there's your father. Now you go get ready for bed.
Okay.
Hi, boy.
Hi, Pa.
George, I kept your dinner warm. It's in the oven.
I didn't get a chance to call you.
I know. I heard all about it on the news. That poor kid. Now you sit down.
What'd you fix?
Lamb chops. Now heated up some of those frozen biscuits. Is that boy going to die from the radium?
I don't know. Dr. Hutter said something about the rays burning deeper and deeper as time went on.
Oh.
Something to do with the square root, and I don't know. Hand me the butter, will you?
The description they gave on the radio, that boy must be about Johnny's age.
Yeah.
Johnny, I told you to get ready for bed.
Oh, golly, Mom, I haven't hardly seen Pop in 3 days.
That's right. Well, boy, what have you been doing?
Oh, nothing. Just taking it easy.
Taking it easy. You just wait, boy. You just wait a few years.
Hey, can I put your Geiger counter away for you?
Look, how many times do I have to tell you that it isn't a toy? It costs a lot of money.
That's the truth.
Can I listen to it, Pop, please?
Johnny, leave your father alone. He's dead tired. Go on, get ready for bed.
Oh, Mom.
Mind your mother, boy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Come back here.
Yes, sir?
Come here. Now, wait a minute.
What's wrong with it?
Oh, the switch is stuck. Okay, now. What the devil?
Pop, is it open?
Wait a minute. Where'd you go to bed, boy?
What?
You went to the city dump, didn't you?
George, no! Pop, what are you looking at me like
Answer
that
me,
for?
Johnny. You went to the city dump, didn't you?
Pop, what's wrong with
Give
you?
me the radium, Johnny.
I didn't do nothing wrong.
Give me the radium!
What did you take to the city dump, Johnny? Nothing. All these little fools. What's that, Johnny? That's all. This ain't little good luck, Johnny.
The search was over. Fortunately, because of Johnny's normal activity, the radium capsules had bounced around in his pocket. The burns covered a wide area, but the rays had not penetrated as deeply as they could have done. The Murphys were told to consider themselves lucky. If the boy had carried the capsules another few hours, it would have been impossible to save him. On being informed of the boy's condition, Miss Burton, the nurse in charge of room 222, admitted to throwing the 2 capsules in with the non-combustible rubbish, hoping a replacement would receive the blame. He was immediately discharged and barred from any further practice in the nursing profession.
Suspense, in which we brought you tonight's presentation of 2 Platinum Capsules. Be sure to listen next week when we again bring you radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you the story of a fantastic theft of $1 million pearl necklace. We call it The End of the String. So now, starring Stacey Harris, here is tonight's suspense play, The End of the String.
The necklace consisted of 61 perfectly matched pearls. It was insured for $650,000 and was probably worth about $1 million. I got to know about the deal because Sam liked me, I guess, because in Boston, I wasn't competition. Just a nice young fellow who was trying to get ahead in costume jewelry. That's why I happened to be in his private office when the parcel containing the pearls arrived.
I told you, young fella, you were going to see something this morning.
Yeah, that's what you said, Sam.
Yeah, I like you. You call me Sam. Since I've been a big high finance, I got to be Mr. Hyler. You're not impressed. I like that. I should have had a son like you to pass the business.
Go ahead. Pass it anyway. I'm up for adoption.
Hey, smart. Come over here. To the window. You ever see $1 million?
Like in the necklace you told me about? That it? In the package?
Yeah, the same.
How come you have it delivered by mail, Sam? Isn't that risky?
Sam Hyler's no dope. You get a messenger to carry it from Detroit to Boston, what happens? Somebody gives him a crack in the head. Registered mail, this they don't touch.
Yeah, I'm glad to know about that. I'm just liable to send myself $1 million.
Don't worry. Someday maybe you will. Hand me the scissors there, will you? On the desk.
Sure. Here.
Thank you.
Hey, fancy sealing wax, stamp. I'm very impressed.
Sam Hyler, S.H. Impresses the customers, and I don't get anybody fooling with the parcel. That's something you got to learn, Mark. In this business, you got to pick and choose your agents, in the other cities. Mine, I know like sons, all bonded.
What was the necklace doing in Detroit?
Customer. Couldn't make up his mind. So I had my boy there send it back to me. You see, tomorrow, the next day, the customer will be screaming for it.
I'm better off in costume jewelry. There's too much strain with that stuff.
Switch on the light, will you?
Okay.
Now, young man, what do you think of this? You are going to see something.
Oh, Sam. Sam! He keeled over. For a minute, I thought he was finished, but he'd only passed out from shock, and I knew why. Inside the box, wrapped in cotton and enclosed in part of a newspaper, were 8 cubes of sugar. $1 million worth of nothing. In half an hour, the office was alive with uniforms. Poor old Sam just sat on the couch, a wet towel on his head, staring over at the box on his desk. I felt really sorry for the old guy. I figured it was about time for me to go, but that's when Sam woke up a bit, and so did a Dartmouth-type cop from headquarters.
Mark, you going?
Well, unless there's something I can do, Sam.
Well, say, before you go...
Yeah?
What did you say your name was, sir?
Hendricks. Mark Hendricks.
Do you know anything about this?
No, not much. I was here when Mr. Hyler opened the box, and that's about it.
Uh-huh. You in this business, too?
Costume jewelry. I have the office downstairs in the front.
Oh. You were in here when the mail came?
No, I came up a couple of minutes later.
Didn't see anybody around in the hall?
No, I didn't.
Well, Mr. Hyler, you say that the same postman's been on the route for 5 years?
Every day.
Yeah.
Mark, you go ahead. Thanks for staying.
And I'll look,
Miss, will you
Sam,
come
if
in,
there's
please?
anything at all I can do, huh?
Well, maybe you could wait a little.
Sure, Sam, I'll stick around.
How do you feel now, Mr. Hyler?
I'm all right. I'm fine. I wish I was dead.
Okay, I want to get a couple of things straight. You took the mail, miss?
Miss Cummings. Yes, same as usual.
The mailman come into the office? Nobody with him?
That's right.
Nobody else in here?
Only Mr. Hyler. Mr. Hendricks arrived a few minutes later.
You'd already given the package to Mr. Hyler?
Yes.
Okay. I want the name and the address of the sender, and then when the postal inspector gets here, we'll go on from there.
The cop's name was Colley. The postal inspector, Shearer. Between the two of them, they covered everything. I hung around because Sam wanted me there, and though nobody said anything, I had the feeling that until they got through, I was going to be around because they wanted it. About 12 o'clock, the mailman was brought in. He was really shaky. The kind of guy that looks guilty just for living.
I tell you, I don't know. I'm sorry. Listen, nothing like this has ever happened. Mr. Hyler, you tell him.
I told him already.
Mr. Hendricks.
Oh, sure, I'll give you a clean bill.
You see?
Look, sir, nobody said you switched packages. All we want to know is where you stopped between the office and here.
I made all my stops.
Okay. We'll start in this building. Did you put the mail bag down anywhere?
No.
How many offices?
4. No, 3. No, 4. 5, but next door is empty.
All right, it's 4. Where'd you stop first?
Mr. Hendricks. He's in the front.
Yes. Did you put your mail bag down?
Well, maybe just for a minute. We talked about the game last weekend, but nobody was around. Nobody touched the mail bag.
That went on for another half hour. They tried to catch him up on the point of leaving his mailbag unattended, but he swore up and down he hadn't taken his eyes off it. At 3 o'clock, they quit. I went back to my place and caught up on my own mail. A couple of bills, a free dog food coupon. I saw Sam a lot in the next couple of weeks. He took to dropping into the office before going home and taking me out for a drink.
No. You're my guest. I pay for the drinks.
Oh, now, look, Sam, it's embarrassing. You never let me
Please.
pick up a chick.
In the hour of need, you were there. I can trust you. Oh, these are bad days for me, Mark. I need a friend.
Sure, Sam. I know.
The insurance company called today.
Huh?
Yeah, they're offering a reward. $50,000 for information. I added 10 of my own.
60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Still nothing on it, though, huh?
Nothing. The post office traced the package from the time it left Detroit. Nobody touched it.
What about while the necklace was in Detroit?
Well, like I told the police, I trust my boy there. He put my seal on it. He mailed it. We checked. I trust him, but we checked, too.
Sam, what about that seal? I mean, you sure the one on the fake package was yours?
It's my seal, the same. The police examined it. I don't know. Somebody got a hold of it, I guess. But yet they couldn't. There's only me and the Detroit firm that's got one, and they're kept in the safe. My boy, I'm going to retire.
Come on, Sam. The insurance will cover the loss. You're not too badly off.
It'll take years. I know that company. Mark, years.
It's a funny thing about money. You don't have a lot, so you wish you had more. Then when you've got more, you want more than that, so you won't go back to not having any. Trouble is, where do you stop? The next day, I caught Sam's secretary as she was leaving the office. Oh, Jeannie.
Hi.
Hi.
Where have you been?
Oh, round. You in a rush?
No. Want to take me to dinner?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a date, but I'll break it.
Oh, great. You must be one of the compensations for being broke.
Can I use your phone?
Sure. Come on in the office.
He's a Harvard boy. I've taken terrible advantage of him.
I'll just bet you have. Well, you tell him you've got homework tonight, huh?
I will. I will. Well, that's enough homework for a while.
Oh?
I think you've got something on your mind. I mean, you haven't been concentrating at all.
I'm sorry, honey.
Huh.
I want to ask you something.
Yes?
This isn't a proposal.
Oh.
You want to make $100,000?
Well, you have got something on your mind.
If you say no, it's okay. If you say yes, you can't back out.
I love to say yes.
Oh, come on, Ginny, I'm serious.
So am I.
It's about Sam Hyler's necklace.
Oh?
Who do you like more? Your boss or $100,000?
I'm loyal. You know that.
Yeah, I know. To which one?
Money. Sam, too, depending.
Okay, I'll take a chance. I want to show you something. Deal still on?
Mark, it's the necklace.
Yeah. Beautiful, isn't it?
You are listening to The End of the String. Tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Chances are the average man in jail would be pleased and reassured to learn that his wife was safe at home, but not the gentleman in the pokey in this week's episode of 21st Precinct. Having jammed the lock on the door to his home prior to his arrest, he is startled and not a little dismayed to realize that his long-suffering wife cannot get out of the house to bail him out, even when she wants to. For engrossing drama with an extra good measure of human interest and humor, don't miss this diverting story on 21st Precinct, when it is broadcast this Friday night over most of these same stations.
And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Stacey Harris, starring in tonight's production, The End of the String, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
She sat looking at the necklace, and her mouth opened and shut like a beautiful blonde fish. Then she noticed me staring at her, and she got a hold of herself, reached for a cigarette and lit it.
Funny. Mr. Hyler's the only one I've ever seen hold that necklace.
Uh-huh. It's not heavy. Here. Are you interested?
What are you going to do?
What I've been trying to do ever since I got a hold of it. Peddle it.
Oh?
Trouble is, I don't know where to start, and that's where you come in.
Here, take it back. No.
What do you mean, no?
I couldn't help you. I mean, I don't know any more about where to get rid of it, well, than you.
But if you did know?
I couldn't. Wouldn't make any difference. I just couldn't.
It's worth $1 million. I figure we could get 200,000, maybe more. Split down the middle, that's $100,000, Gene. Tax-free.
But you'll be caught. So will I.
No. Worst of it's over.
How'd you do it, Mark?
Well, it seems to me I've told you an awful lot already. If we can't make a deal, let's forget it, huh?
Aren't you afraid I'll tell Mr. Hyler?
No, because if you did, you'd have to prove what I've told you. That wouldn't be easy. They wouldn't find the necklace around here, and besides, you wouldn't get $100,000.
Why'd you pick me?
Well, Sam works with people in the business. You get his phone calls, answer his mail. Wouldn't be hard to find out who handles this kind of stuff. You could even ask him if you're careful.
That's all I'd have to do? Find out where to sell the necklace?
Not another thing.
All right.
Good. Now, so I won't keep you up tonight. I'll tell you how I worked it. This wasn't done overnight. Sam's been telling me for a long time about that necklace.
But how'd you know he was sending it to Detroit? And when it'd come back?
Empty office next to yours. Did you ever hear of wall mics? Induction coils to pick up phone conversations?
Oh.
That's it. Now, let me turn that thing off.
But you couldn't have got a hold of his seal. All the packages have a seal on.
I didn't have to. I got friendly with the mailman. He always stops to gab when he brings my mail, and about a month ago I saw a package addressed to Sam.
That wasn't the necklace?
No, but it was an important package, had Sam's seal on it. So I got the mailman interested in some costume pieces for his wife, and when he was looking at them, I took a wax impression of the seal. Had a stamp made from that.
Just like that?
Just like that. Heard Sam talking to his agent on the phone 2 days before the necklace was mailed from Detroit. I knew when it was going to arrive, so I made up my own package with a seal, switched them when the mailman stopped by.
Well, how'd you know what the box looked like?
I was in the office when you were wrapping it to mail out to Detroit, remember?
And I thought you hung around because of me.
Well, sure. Sure, you're pretty good at Sam. We agreed not to make any contact with each other until she had some word for me. I'd worked it out pretty well. I hoped that she wouldn't be suspected if she did ask questions about fences in Boston or New York, and I hoped she wouldn't lose her nerve. For the next 5 days, I sweated it out alone. The necklace was safe. I didn't have to worry about that. But you're never really happy when $1 million is lying around and you got to borrow $100 to pay rent. Then one evening, just as I was getting home... Hello?
Hello, Mark.
Oh, hi. Where are you?
Downstairs.
Oh, well, come on up.
I wanted to see if it was all right. There's somebody with me.
Oh?
I thought I'd do a little work to earn the money. I found a man, called him myself.
Does he know what it is?
Not yet.
Are you sure he's all right?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, come on up. Hi, Jeannie.
Mark, this is Mr. Larkin. Mark Hendricks.
How are you?
Mr. Hendricks?
Well, can I fix your drink?
Never drink, thanks.
Oh, well, sit down. Jeannie, you want to give me a scotch and water?
Yeah, all right.
Thanks. Well, Jean tells me you're interested in jewelry.
I represent an outfit that buys and sells.
Mm-hmm. You in the market to buy right now?
Might be. Depends what's being sold.
Oh, sure.
From folks we don't know, we usually take stuff on consignment.
No, that's out. This is a cash proposition only.
Uh-huh.
You have much call for pearls?
Not much. Of course, for special customers, once in a while we buy them.
Hmm. How about a pearl necklace?
Might be interested. You got it?
Not on me. I can get it, though.
How much you want?
$200,000.
For pearl?
It's worth $1 million.
You're crazy.
Well, it's insured for over $600,000.
The Highland necklace? You got that?
I might.
You're a pretty foolish boy.
What do you mean?
You're working backwards. You should figure how to get rid of it before you lift it. Nobody's going to touch that necklace.
Well, now, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
You didn't tell me what your boyfriend had, honey. You're wasting my time.
Well, just take a look at it, huh? Maybe you'll change your mind.
What do I want to look at it for? I wouldn't give you $1,000 for it. Nothing. You better get rid of that thing any way you can, I'm telling you. Nice to have met you, folks. And I'd like to ask you to please forget my name.
He was gone, just like that. Jeannie stood there holding a couple of glasses, looking at the door. There wasn't anything to say, so we didn't try. After a couple of drinks, though, we felt better. So one guy was afraid to handle a big item. There were others. We'd go after them. Jeannie and I got to know most of the fences in the East during the next month. We'd only have to say pearls and the door would slam. Word gets around. I was getting a little scared, so I decided on another plan. We had to be even more careful about getting together, so Jeannie met me on her lunch hour in the public library. We went to the reference room and walked down to a back aisle.
Listen, Mark, let's forget it, huh?
What do you mean?
We can't sell it. We've tried. Let's forget it.
What are you going to do with it? Just drop it in the bay?
I don't care, just so we get rid of it.
Now, look, we've gone this far. We can't just... Shh, be quiet.
Excuse me.
Yes, certainly.
Thank you. Now, you look. We've gone this far. We can't just get rid of it.
Then what do we do?
The reward.
What?
What happens if we find it? We get the reward, don't we? That's $30,000 apiece.
No, I won't do it.
Now, you listen to me. I'm not going back to those $1.98 earrings. I don't care about you. You do what you want. But I know we can get $30,000 each out of this. That's a lot better than nothing.
Is it better than prison?
We won't get caught, Jeannie, I promise you. I've got it all figured out.
Like you had it figured out to sell?
All right, I was wrong. I admit it. This time I'm right.
I'm afraid.
No, look, it's simple. There's nothing to it. They'll never know.
Are you sure?
Well, let me give you the idea, then you decide. Okay?
Okay.
I guess a deal like this is something like poker. It's hoping you'll pull an inside straight flush, which doesn't happen very often, and the stakes are a lot higher. I made it sound real easy to Jeannie, though. I was to go to Hyler, tell him I'd been doing a bit of private eyeing on my own, and that I'd had a tip. Some punk had seen a guy put a small package in one of the lockers at the South Station. That was what I was supposed to know. I'd paid said punk $50 for the information. We set it up like that. Jeannie took the necklace in a package to the station on her lunch hour. I thought it best not to see her after that, and I waited until the next morning before I went to Sam and told him the news. The college boy-type cop, Collie, was at the office 10 minutes later.
Who was this fellow, Hendricks?
Well, I told you, I don't know. I was snooping around. I made a couple of contacts.
Yeah, and the pearls are at the South Station?
Well, if they're not, I spent $50 for nothing.
Mr. Colley, why do you waste time? Mark is doing me a big favor, and you're asking questions. Let's get over there. And don't you worry, my boy. If I get my necklace back, you'll have your $50 and everything else that's coming to you.
Let's go.
Which locker is it, Mark, huh?
36, that's what the guy told me.
We'll find out.
Look, Collie, I don't like the way you talk. I'm just trying to help. If you didn't get the reward first, that's not my fault, you know.
36?
36.
I'll get the attendant over. He'll have a key.
No, wait a minute. Look. It ain't locked.
Well, Hendricks?
Mark, think. Maybe you forgot the number, huh?
No, I didn't forget. That's what he said, 36.
Yeah, but there's nothing in it. It's empty.
Well, Hendricks?
Well, I guess I'm out $50.
Yeah. Too bad.
What had she done with it? I couldn't get to the office. I couldn't be seen with her, but I had to know. What had she done with it? I waited all day until she finished work. Then I was waiting outside her apartment when she got home. Jane, now listen, I want to know...
When do we get inside?
Okay, where is it?
Here, take it.
Why didn't you do what I told you to do? Why didn't you put it in the locker?
I did.
Why didn't you put it in the locker?
I can't put it in. Yesterday. Then this morning I heard Mr. Hyler talking to Collie about you and me seeing so much of each other. I was afraid they were beginning to suspect, so I went back to the station and took it out again. I was trying to do you a favor. You slapped me.
I'm sorry, Jeannie.
I'll bet you are. Go away. I don't want to see you again. And I don't want to see that necklace again. But you'd better get rid of it. Go throw it in the bay, and you go with it.
Get rid of it? Lose it? $1 million burning a hole in your pocket and you throw it away? No, don't throw it away. It's too beautiful. Put it back where you got it. Give it back to Sam. Go back to Sam Hyler's office, and in the morning old Sam will be so happy to find it on his desk he won't ask any questions. And maybe Collie won't.
Ah, they're so beautiful. $1 million. And so beautiful. Huh.
That's a good boy, Mark.
Collie.
You know, I was getting awfully tired of following you around.
Well, it was a great idea anyway. Starting with $1 million, sure, you have to take a loss, so you settle for $200,000. But nobody buys, so then there's the reward, $60,000. It turns out nobody's going to get that. That takes care of the reward. Anybody got a dime for a lawyer?
Suspense, in which Stacey Harris starred in tonight's presentation of The End of the String. Next week, we bring you a story of a mother, a father, a locked door, and a baby. We call it The Cellar Door. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by Anthony Ellis. Tonight's script was written by David Williams. The music was composed by Lucien Moraweck and Rene Garrigan, and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Benny Rubin, Mary Jane Croft, Larry Thor, Jim Nusser, and Jack Crucian.
There may be two sides to most stories, but where a story of crime is concerned, there's only one place to be, and that is on the right side of the law. Unfortunately for him, the nice-looking boy finds himself on the wrong side of the law when the FBI in Peace and War next goes into action to track down an impulsive killer. How they link the handsome youth to the ugly crime is a story in itself, a story you want to hear tomorrow night over most of these same CBS radio stations on the FBI in Peace and War. Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News, to be followed on most of these same stations by The Jack Carson Show. You hear America's favorite shows on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a transcribed story of a mother, a father, a locked door, and a baby. We call it The Cellar Door. So now, starring Paula Winslow and Parley Bear, here is tonight's suspense play, The Cellar Door.
Ann?
Oh, I'm out in the kitchen.
Oh. Well, the weather's great. We finally got a perfect Sunday.
I thought you were going to wash the car.
Well, I decided to mow the lawn instead.
Yeah, I could hear you.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
What's new?
You.
Hey, did you hear that, Ann? He can say anything now. You know that woman on the corner, what's her name?
Oh, Miss Emerson.
Yeah. She wouldn't believe me when I told her Sandy wasn't quite 2. She thought he was 3 or 4.
Oh, really, Joe?
That's right.
We'll have lunch right after you're back, honey.
Well, what's the schedule?
Well, I'm going to bathe him now, lunch, and his nap, and then we can go to the park.
Mm-hmm. I better drain some of that water out of the heater. Where's the bucket, Ann? Down the basement?
Oh, I moved everything onto the service porch. It was too tough going up and down those stairs.
Hey, look. All those toys, and he plays with an egg beater.
Say, the water heater's all right, Joe. If you have to fix something, how about the light socket in the bedroom closet, huh?
Well, I'll fix them both.
Oh, what was that?
I don't know.
Oh, it's those kids from across the street.
Oh, they must have kicked that football in the yard again.
Where are you going?
They're killing the hedge. I'll be right back.
Oh, come on, Sandy. We'll run the water into the tub.
Hey, fellas, don't go through the hedge. Go around it. It's the only hedge I got to my name.
Sorry, Joe. I'll keep them over
Where's your
here.
boat, honey? Can't take a bath without the boat. And right after your nap, we'll go to the park and ride in the pony cart. Oh, here's your boat. Now, look, don't go out in the hall, dear. You stay here.
I'll be down in the basement, honey.
Did you save the hedge?
Yeah, I guess I'm getting old. I've been nursing that hedge for 3 years.
Say, can you watch Sandy for a minute? I want to get a towel out of the kitchen.
Sure.
And turn the water off, will you, honey?
Right. We'll take on the ponies this afternoon, son, huh? Hey, Ann? Ann!
What's wrong?
Nothing, but look at Sandy.
What'd he do?
He took off his stockings.
Oh, he's been doing that for months.
Yeah, I know, but look how neatly he tucked them in his shoes. Just like I do.
Cute. Hey.
Oh, is there something wrong with putting my arms around you?
No. You going to fix the light socket upstairs?
After I drain the water heater.
Sandy's bath's going to get cold.
Okay. I'm on my way.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah?
Put a low flame under the pans on the stove, will you?
Check.
Thanks, dear. Oh, the water's just right. Come on, you take off your pants.
No.
Oh, you did it yesterday. Come on, start with the buttons. Oh, Joe, can you answer the phone? Joe!
I'm down in the basement.
Oh, well, I'll get it. Come on, give me your hand, Sandy. We'll answer the phone together. Oh, you better let me carry you again. The floor's cold and you got your shoes off. There we go. Now, hang on. No, phone. Hello? Oh, fine. Yeah, look, can I call you back, Mother? I was just going to give Sandy his bath. He's fine. No, he didn't have a cold after all. Mother, look, can I call... Mother, can I call you back? Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right, you call me back. About 15 or 20 minutes. Okay. Yeah, bye. To the bath, we hope.
Ann?
Oh, dear. What do you want?
Who was it?
My mother.
Oh. Where are the pliers?
In the kitchen.
Well, would you throw them down to me?
All right. Sandy, we may never have a bath. Yeah, lunch. We'll have lunch and just... Okay, sweetie. I guess the floor's not that cold. Come on out in the kitchen with me. We gotta find Daddy the pliers. See? Pliers.
Lights on.
No, honey, we only turn the lights on in the evening when it's dark. Come on, let's go back in the hall. No, hall. This is the hall.
Ann?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Well, throw them down.
Oh, Joe, you shouldn't leave the cellar door open, not with Sandy around.
Well, I knew it was with you. You got the pliers?
Yes.
Well, throw them down.
Look, Sandy, you wait right here in the hall. Now, I'll only be gone a second. You wait right here.
Hey, what are you doing?
Well, I have to come down a few steps. I can't throw it around the bend in the stairs.
Okay.
Now, I'll be right back, honey. And you stay right here. Okay, here you are. Catch.
Strike. Thank you. Hey, what's the rush?
Well, I left Sandy in the hall.
Oh, well, when do we eat?
Oh, about 10 minutes. Joe. Joe!
What's wrong?
The door's locked. I can't get out.
Well, now, don't get excited. We'll get it open. Why didn't you put the catch on the lock?
Well, I thought you had. The door was open.
Did you have to close the door?
Do you want Sam to fall down the stairs? Oh, hurry. He's just a baby. He might fall in the tub. Anything could happen.
Listening to The Cellar Door, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. If you're a veteran radio listener, you'll remember that there never was anything like it on the air. If you're new to radio, you'll soon realize you've never heard anything like it. The Radio Workshop will continue after a few years' vacation to bring you the new, the exciting, the unusual in all fields of radio broadcasting. Dramas, music, operas, poetry, and comedy. Hear the CBS Radio Workshop this Friday evening and every Friday. And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Harley Bear and Paula Winslow, starring in tonight's production, The Cellar Door. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
The lock.
The lock's on the other side. The only thing here's the bolt that holds the lock. The only thing I'm breaking open is my shoulder.
Well, you've got to get this door open. He's out there alone.
I know it. Keep your voice down and relax. There's no use scaring the kid.
Joe, there's water in the bathtub. There's a flame on the stove. Do something. Only get the door open.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, he's playing with the egg beater. At least he's still in the hall. Look, can't you pry it open?
The hinges are on the other side. It's a spring lock. There's no way of turning the lock from here.
Sandy! Sandy! Bye-bye. Oh. Honey, I'll be right out. You wait there by the door. Mommy'll be right out.
What?
Where are you going?
See if I can find anything in the basement to smash open that door.
Oh. Sandy! Sandy! Oh, Joe, hurry, will you? Sandy! Joe, he's not in the hall. I can't hear him.
What happened to that old hammer I had down here?
I don't know. Sandy! Sandy!
I couldn't find anything but a screwdriver and the pliers. It should do the trick.
Oh, he's not in the hall. He doesn't answer.
Now, take it easy. Falling apart isn't going to help.
Sandy! What are you doing?
Well, if I can twist this bolt. It's part of the lock.
Well, hurry.
It's going to take a few seconds. See if you can get him back in the hall.
Oh, okay. Sandy! Sandy! Joe, what was that?
What was what?
It sounded like water splashing.
No, I didn't hear anything.
I left the back door open. The screen door isn't locked. If he went outside, the traffic...
Oh, this isn't going to work.
Well, you've got
I'll have to try something else.
Oh, he's got his toy duck.
Yeah, he's in the hall.
Down by the bathroom. Sandy! Sandy!
Sandy!
I always give him the duck when he's in the water.
Sandy, come down here by the door. Right here, Sandy. Where Daddy's knocking.
Bye-bye, Daddy. Sandy, stay right here.
Let me talk to him. Sandy, come up to the door. Right here. Do you see the little knob, Sandy? Can you turn it for Daddy?
Oh, he doesn't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I've seen him play with every doorknob in the house.
But he can't reach it, Joe. He gets up on his chair.
Sandy, get your chair, Sandy. Get your chair and bring it to the door.
Look, Joe, can't you pry the door open?
No, I can't. Sandy, get your chair and bring it to the door.
Oh, we could be here till tomorrow morning, till the cleaning woman comes.
Get your chair, Sandy.
Joe.
He's going for his chair.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Oh, for heaven's sake, stop beating yourself. It isn't going to open the door. I don't know why you closed it.
But I told you.
Oh, why didn't you pick him up and bring him with you?
I should have been gone only a couple of seconds. I don't like to carry him down these stairs. They're so steep.
Well, you know how the lock works.
You were down in the basement. I thought you put the catch on the lock.
But I left the door open.
Oh, how many times have I told you with Sandy in the house not to leave the basement door open?
Well, he was with you.
Oh, what was that?
Sounds like he's pulling the pots and pans out of the cupboard.
Joe, I've got things cooking on the stove.
Sandy! Sandy!
Don't shout like that. You'll scare him half to death. Sandy!
Sandy, bring your chair to the door.
Oh, he's doing it.
That's a good boy. Bring it right up to the door. That's right. Come on. Closer. That's a good boy. Now, get on the chair, son. Get on the chair and turn the knob.
Oh, he's gone for his duck.
He probably left it in the kitchen.
Well, he'll come back as soon as he finds the duck. Oh, I hope he didn't throw it in the tub. Joe,
What?
the window.
Oh, it's too high.
You could raise me up to the window.
Sure, but you'd never get through. It's too narrow.
I could wiggle through.
It's too small.
We could at least try.
It's a waste of time, man. We can't afford it. You can't get through that window.
Well, I will.
And stop it. Stop it.
Let me go.
That isn't going to help either. You can't tear down the door.
Let go.
Take it easy.
Well, I can't help it.
It's better not to frighten him. Sandy.
He's still looking for the duck.
Sandy, come to the door. Daddy's right here, son. Now turn the little knob. Climb up on your chair and turn it for Daddy.
Climb on the chair, Sandy.
Let me talk to him. You don't want to confuse him. Come on, Buster, up on the chair. He did it.
Hang on to the doorknob, Sandy.
He's all right. Turn the little shiny knob, Sandy. The one under the doorknob. The lock. Now look what you've done. He's playing with a doorknob.
Well, he has to hang on to something. I don't want him to fall.
The little knob below the doorknob, son. The little shiny one. That's the lock. No. Stay right there, son. Don't go away. Don't go away. Now turn the shiny one. Right here where Daddy's tapping.
Oh, Joe. He's too young to understand.
Watch the doorknob, Sandy. See? See how I turn the doorknob? Now, you turn the one under it. It's your turn now, Sandy. Good boy. Now turn it all the way.
He's turning it the wrong way.
No, turn it the other way, son, and to your right. I mean, turn the other way. Once more, Sandy.
Oh, he fell off the chair. Sandy, baby, are you all right?
Okay, Sandy?
Oh, as if he could tell us.
No, he's all right. Sandy, fix your chair.
The game's over, Joe. Can't you break it open?
You saw me try.
Sandy will be right out. You wait right there in the hall.
Hey, we're right across from the Donaldson's kitchen.
Well, I don't think they're home.
Ed! Ed! Ed!
Oh, they couldn't possibly hear you.
Yeah.
Sandy! Oh, come back and wait by the door. Oh, Sandy!
I can hear him in the kitchen.
Oh, there must be some way.
If I could just get this bolt loose.
Well, that's what you should have done in the first place.
Well, it's frozen tight.
Oh, it moved.
That was the pliers, not the bolt.
Sandy!
He's still in the kitchen.
Oh, don't be so sure.
Oh, you always expect the worst.
If the house was on fire, you wouldn't admit it.
Well, I don't go around looking for trouble.
What you mean is that I face things and you don't.
No, what I mean is you're not happy unless there's something wrong, and if there isn't something wrong, you create it.
I created this, I suppose.
Yes, unconsciously.
Look, I have told you 100 times not to leave the basement door open. Tell me I created it.
All right, it's my fault. I did it. I'm to blame. I'm also to blame for this bolt. It won't turn, but it's my fault. Ow!
Oh, that's how you always try to settle things. It's my fault. Only you never mean it. That's a fine defense.
Well, I've had to learn a few, like at the Hendersons' party the other night.
The Hendersons? That was over a month ago.
Oh, what difference does it make? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's probably Mother. She was supposed to call back.
Sandy found his duck.
He always picks up the phone unless I'm there to stop him.
Well, let him pick it up. If we didn't come to the phone, she might get the idea there's something wrong.
Sandy!
Leave him alone. He's in the hall.
Sounds like he's next to the phone. Oh!
Was that the phone?
He pulled it to the floor. Say hello to Grandma, Sandy. Say hello to Grandma. Oh, I guess it doesn't make any difference whether it's Grandma or not.
I can't hear him if you keep talking.
No, I don't hear anything.
Sandy!
Sandy!
Well, he's not in the hall.
Maybe they'll phone back.
Oh, he never puts the receiver back. Sandy! Sandy, come out here in the hall. Can you hear him?
No. Now what are you doing?
Well, this screwdriver isn't very sharp, but I think I can chisel enough of this door jamb away to get the lock.
That should work.
Here, hold the pliers.
Oh, hurry.
Well, I'm going as fast as I can.
Sandy! Sandy! Oh, if he was in the house, he could hear me.
He may be back in his room playing.
Oh, Joe, you haven't even gotten the paint
Well,
off.
if I had a knife, There, we're beginning to get someplace.
Did you hear that?
What?
The back door. He's gone outside.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Well, how could you?
I'm listening for him, too.
Sandy! Oh, he's gone outside.
There you go again.
Well, he could be outside.
And he could be in his room.
Oh, I hope so. Oh, is this going to work?
What?
Are you going to be able to open the door?
Don't start to break up. Not now.
Well, you didn't answer me.
It's going to work.
Oh. How much longer?
5, maybe 10 minutes. I don't know. It's like trying to crack cement with a toothpick.
I hope he's in his room.
He's in his room.
I hope so.
What was that?
Something hit the window.
Hey, it's a football. I can see part of it.
It must be those kids from across the street.
They'll come to get it.
But, Joe, don't start shouting until we see them.
I can see his feet. Come around to the back door and let us out.
We're trapped
in here. Give me the pliers.
Please help us. Oh.
Oh, fine. I hit the pipes up above instead of the window. Well, they're gone.
Oh, they must have heard us.
Probably thought we were shouting at them for kicking the football into our yard. Here, hold the pliers. Get closer. I'll be able to shove the lock back if I can get deep enough.
Sandy!
Even if you went into the yard, he might stay there.
Oh, I hope he didn't get into the bathtub. He had his duck and boat was already there.
What time is it?
Oh, I don't have my watch.
He didn't put the receiver back or the phone would ring again.
We've been in here at least an hour.
Well, it won't be long now. Can you move over and give me a little more room?
Well, I'm flat against the wall.
Okay.
Don't start taking it out on me.
That's right. Start putting words in my mouth.
Look, I don't have to go back a month, like the Henderson party, to find something to complain about.
Complain? Oh, you make it sound so simple. One small complaint.
If I knew what you were talking about, it might help.
If you knew what I felt like a fool.
What did I do?
You know.
No, I don't know.
I don't have to tell you.
Well, then I'll never know.
And you'll never do. That's what's so infuriating about it.
Oh, but... Sandy! Sandy!
I think I heard him.
Oh, where?
I thought I heard him down the hall.
I don't hear him.
Sandy! Sandy!
Oh, keep working at the door.
What do you think I'm doing? I tell you, it was uncomfortable.
Oh, at the party.
Yes, at the party.
Oh, well, you'll have to let me in on it. I'm in the dark.
Well, did you have to insult everyone by talking to Healy all night?
Oh, he's 20. I'm 10, 12 years old.
That's not the point. I'm only accusing you of being rude.
What did I do that was so rude?
You didn't mix with anyone. You didn't talk to anyone. You ignored everyone.
Well, you're the one who told me how to act at parties.
Oh, it's my fault.
When I complained about these parties for business reasons and how much they bored me, you're the one who told me how to act at them.
Oh, I'm sorry I even mentioned
You said, find somebody interesting, hang on to them, spend the evening with them. All I did was take your advice.
But you still have to acknowledge that there are other people present.
Oh, those people aren't interested in seeing me. They only want to see you. I'm your wife, so I go along.
Oh, that isn't true.
You're the bright young man in town. That's why we go to parties like the Hendersons.
Well, is that bad?
Well, of course not. I'm always ready to be of help.
Oh, don't go out of your way for me. Don't do me any favors.
Oh, that's unfair.
Then I'll be a martyr.
Sandy! Oh, why doesn't he end?
I'm hitting metal. A few more seconds and that's all.
Well, from here on in, you can go to parties all by yourself.
Oh, you think people only want to know you because of me? You envy my job. You envy everything I do. That's the problem.
No, it's you. It's you. You're never satisfied. You want too much. Because you're not a smashing success overnight, you take it out on me.
All right, I'm a failure.
Yes, in more ways than one.
I tell you, if it wasn't for the kid, I'd...
But you can leave tonight.
And I intend to. At last, there's the lock. Now, push on the door as I shove the lock back. Not yet. Okay. Now.
What's wrong?
The screwdriver slipped. That's what's wrong. You'll try again. Okay. Push. That's it.
Sandy! Where are you?
Sandy!
Oh, he's not in the kitchen.
Try the bathroom.
Sandy! Sandy!
His duck's in the tub. Maybe he's in his room.
Look, I'll look there. You better look outside.
All right.
Sandy! Baby! It's Money! Sandy!
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 Sandy! Anne! Anne!
Oh,
Anne!
I found him.
Well, where are you?
Don't shout. He's sound asleep.
Oh, is he okay?
Yes. He got tired and went to sleep.
Where'd you find him?
In the hall closet.
In the hall. Here. Let me take him.
No. I'll hold him.
Where are you going?
To put him to bed.
You want me to?
No. I'll do it. What time is it?
11:25.
Oh, no. It Can't be. We must have been in there a couple of hours.
We were only in there about 20 minutes. Anne, I'm sorry about those things I said. You know I didn't mean them. You know I love you.
Put the receiver back on the phone. Turn the flame off on the stove. As soon as I get him in bed, we'll have lunch.
Suspense, in which Paula Winslow and Parley Bear starred in tonight's presentation of The Cellar Door. Next week, the story of a group of brave men who risk their lives in a desperate effort to save their fellow men. We call it Arctic Rescue. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is transcribed in Hollywood by Anthony Ellis. Tonight's script was written by Bernard Gerard. The music was composed by Rene Garrigan and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Sound patterns by Bill James and Tom Handley. Featured in the cast were Richard Beals and Byron Kane. Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News, to be followed on most of these stations by The Jack Carson Show. You hear America's favorite shows on the CBS Radio Network. And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a transcribed story of a group of brave men who risk their lives in a desperate effort to save their fellow men. We call it Arctic Rescue. So now, starring Mr. John Stevenson, here is tonight's suspense play, Arctic Rescue.
Picture this if you can. Christmas night. Miles and miles of endless, empty, broken white ice. An ice floe drifting somewhere in the vicinity of the 73rd parallel, north of the Arctic Circle. Nothing but ice. That is, nearly nothing. If you look carefully through the winter night, you'll see two tiny dark blemishes, the figures of two men. One twisted in an unconscious heap is our skipper, Jonathan Blake. The other figure, Gerald Stewart, first mate. Me. It makes a sorry picture, eh? Civilized men in a primitive wilderness of ice, waiting, helplessly, for death. Aye, a sorry picture. It's a far different picture you've seen if you've been part of the excited crowd standing at the battery of a New York waterfront on June morning, the year 1852.
Aye, Mrs. Stewart.
The moment of departure?
Aye, Lady Franklin. You must take the high tide.
May God in his great mercy protect you and your men from the perils which await you.
You men are prepared for hardship, Lady Franklin.
And we shall succeed where the others have failed in ending the mystery of the Erebus and Terror.
Aye. Back to Aberdeen in time for a Christmas feast.
We'll prepare a Christmas celebration your men will never forget, Captain.
We're leaving for England next week. I shall pray for you, Mr. Stewart.
For all of you.
Thank you, Miss Craycroft. I'll stand many a watch out at sea thinking of last night. The ball, dancing, You? That is, all of us will, I mean.
What my first mate is trying to tell your niece, Lady Franklin, is how grateful the officers and crew are for the farewell ball you held in their honor last night.
I'm the grateful one, Captain Blake. Please bring them all home safely.
Come now, Lady Franklin, no need to worry. The Jessica is a sturdy ship, and the men are in good health and lofty spirits. We'll be back by Christmas, we'll see. The tide will change. We must be on our way.
Then goodbye and good luck, Captain.
Goodbye, Lady Franklin. Miss Braycroft.
Goodbye, Captain Blake. Goodbye, Mr. Stewart. Godspeed.
Thank you. We shall see you in Aberdeen Christmas week.
Let's get aboard, Mr. Stewart.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, Lady Franklin.
Darky?
Yes, sir.
Drop the gangway.
Yes, sir. All hands at their mooring stations, Mr. Stewart.
Yes, sir.
And pass the orders to cast off.
Aye, sir.
All hands, prepare to cast off. All hands, prepare to cast off. Let go, 1 and 2. Let go, 1 and 2. Let go, 3 and 4. Let go, 3 and 4.
Ship's underway, sir.
Aye. Well, Mr. Stewart, fill your eyes with the sight of New York. It's the last of it you'll be seeing for some time to come. Aye. A good long time.
I am, sir. As the Jessica moved slowly to the outer harbor, I watched a tiny, delicate white dot in the crowd at the wharf. She stood there beside Lady Franklin, waving. And I watched until the morning fog erased the sight of the New York waterfront. Aside from the ship's log, I've decided to keep a running account of this voyage. This account will be transferred to a watertight jar and thrown to the currents should any sudden disaster occur. The first 3 weeks of navigation north were merely a matter of settling down to ship's routine. On June 30th, after officers' mess, we sighted Point Farewell on the Greenland coast. The time had come for the captain to read a letter of instructions given to him by Lady Franklin.
Captain Blake, I am sure you will do all that any man can in discovering the fate of my husband, Sir John Franklin, and his 2 ships, the Erebus and Terror. But my only fear is that you might sacrifice your lives in the unknown regions of the Arctic. Therefore, let me state that above all else, the preservation of the lives of you and your heroic companions is more important to me than the purpose of your journey. May God in his great mercy preserve you all from harm amidst the perils which await, and restore you to us safely and in health, as well as honor. Your sincere and attached friend, Jane Franklin. These are the only written instructions I have, gentlemen. Now then, Mr. Stewart, the map, please.
Yes, sir.
Here it is, gentlemen. The most recent Admiralty map of the Arctic regions that we are approaching.
Map? It's almost completely blank.
Aye, Mr. Halliday. Thousands of miles of uncharted wilderness.
And somewhere in that frozen tundra, Sir John Franklin and his men vanished.
Aye. And our search will begin tomorrow when we drop anchor in Gold Harbor. We'll pick up our ice pilot, Mr. Patrick Hanson's, from additional supplies, and then make for the Arctic Circle.
Arctic Circle sounds like the edge of the world, eh, Stuart?
Yes, a little frightening, too.
You? Frightened?
Mr. Halliday, if I were you, I would respect Mr. Stewart's fear of what lies before us.
Captain, I was just thinking, if Franklin was looking for the Northwest Passage, he'd probably make an approach through here, to Lancaster Sound.
Aye.
And he must have passed Ponds Bay here. And according to our information, there are Eskimos at Ponds Bay. They might have seen his ships enter Lancaster Sound.
If they did, then we'll have something to go by.
I hope Mr. Hanson understands the Eskimo dialects. They can tell us much.
I don't see how we can cover all this territory and get back by Christmas, Captain.
We have no choice, Mr. Stewart. If we get caught beyond the Arctic Circle after the summer months, we may never get back.
Never?
Aye. In the winter, the seas are covered with great ice floes, and once a ship is frozen in those latitudes, it will stay there until the summer thaw. And you can't imagine the horrors we'd endure in an Arctic winter, Mr. Halliday.
I suppose not.
Franklin and his men were probably frozen in for the winter,
And they were never heard from again?
Exactly. Well, that will give you a brief idea of what we're in for, gentlemen. We'll know more after Mr. Hanson comes aboard. Any questions?
I have nothing but questions, Captain.
I wish I had the answers, Stewart.
Noon the next day, we dropped anchor in the harbor of Godhav. Here we could take on coal, additional winter clothing, dogs, and Eskimo drivers, and Mr. Hanson, our ice pilot. Godhav was nothing more than a few huts of the Baffin Bay Trading Company. And as we prepared to go ashore, a longboat suddenly appeared alongside.
Captain Blake.
Aye?
I'm Patrick Hanson, your ice pilot, sir.
We were about to send a boat ashore for you, Mr. Hanson.
No time for that, Captain.
But we planned on picking up supplies and dogs.
I brought them. They're in the boat.
Well, what's the rush, Mr. Hanson?
This is Gerald Stewart, my first mate.
You never been to the Arctic before, Mr. Stewart?
No.
You'll take my word for it. We better get up there while we got the summer weather, you bet.
All right, so we run into a little summer ice. The Jessica's prepared for it.
Yeah. She looks like good, strong ship. We never seen an iron ship up here before. And steam engine, too.
Well, that's not all the Jessica has. There's an additional iron plates across her hull, as well as added bracing thwartships. And the forward tenting of the bow is solid iron and razor sharp at the edge. What do you think that will do to your ice, Mr. Hanson?
You wait and you see what the ice can do to a ship, even an iron ship, Mr. Stewart.
Mr. Hanson, you received my letters?
Yeah.
And you made inquiries about the Erebus and Terror?
Yeah, they was here. They couldn't get dogs, so they headed for Pond's Bay.
Across Baffin Bay?
That's right.
Just as we thought. Mr. Halliday?
Yes, sir?
Get those supplies aboard, then prepare the ship for sea.
Aye, sir.
Stewart, you can chart a course for us. We'll cross the Arctic Circle next, and on to Pond's Bay.
We set a north by northwest course, leaving the last outpost of civilization behind us, and crossed the Great Baffin Bay. On July 4th, we crossed the Arctic Circle without ceremony. Then we had ice freezing on deck and in the rigging. A day later, we saw our first floating iceberg. For this time of the year, we should not have seen either one. From Godhav to Pond's Bay, 6.5 days. Perfect calm. Upon landing, we found a small contingent of Eskimos, but nothing else. They seemed hostile and would give us no information. Then, as we were preparing to return to the Jessica, one of the natives, a girl, rushed from one of the huts and down to the beach.
Who's there? Who's there?
What's she saying, Mr. Hanson?
I'm not sure.
Captain, look. She has something in her hand. She wants us to look at it.
It's a small brass button.
From a naval uniform.
Aye. See if she'll trade it for some sewing needles.
Who's there? Galaga?
What does she mean by that?
Who's there?
Joseph. She trying to say a man's name.
Who's there? Galaga?
Joseph Gallagher? Stewart, is that name on Sir John's crew list?
I'm looking, sir. Yes, sir, it's here. Quartermaster, Joseph Gallagher. They've been here.
Aye. Let me get back to the ship, men. Looks like a gale brewing.
Who's there?
Let her keep the buttons to it. Give her the needles, too.
Yes, sir.
Who's there?
After leaving Pond's Bay, 2 months passed without incident. Then we entered Lancaster Sound and approached the scarcely charted islands along Bell Strait. Then we encountered great mountains of floating ice, and we had only a few hours of twilight each day. We crossed the 75th parallel and north into Wellington Channel to Bathurst Islands, the last of the charted islands on my maps. Then on September 10th, weather changed. Northwest gales, sleet, and heavy fogs that forced us to a bare crawl. And worse, mammoth ice floes that closed in all around us.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes, sir.
Keep an eye on the temperature.
I am, sir.
Aye. Dead ahead. Quartermaster, starboard, 6 degrees.
They've been getting smaller all the time.
Captain, the temperature's still dropping. 10 above zero. What do you think of this lead, Henson?
I think maybe we better back out of here.
Back out? Take a look astern, Henson. Back out where?
Captain?
What is it, Halliday?
The rudder won't respond.
6 below, sir. Aye, dead ahead.
The lead is getting smaller, Captain.
Aye. Well, the Arctic seems to be closing down on us on all counts.
The walls of the lead moved in closer until a man could jump to the ice from either side of the ship. And then the Jessica was cutting through the ice, making her own lead. But slowly, we lost speed. And then, finally, the ship gave up to the ice.
We're frozen in now.
Aye. Stop engines, Mr. Stirrups.
Yes, sir.
Well, Captain Blake, looks like we can forget about looking for Sir John Franklin and his ships. Now that we're frozen in, we're going to have to look out for our own lives, you bet.
Listening to Arctic Rescue, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
The precinct house, the hub of a policeman's life, is a world in itself. All the distorted, misguided emotions of humanity are channeled through its doors and dealt with by the men who work there, protecting us every hour of the day and night. You can get another authentic glimpse of this tense but tireless life Thursday on that brilliantly realistic CBS radio drama, 21st Precinct, heard every Thursday night over most of these same stations. Not only will you hear another exciting, incisive drama of police life, you will win a new knowledge of and respect for the men in precinct houses everywhere on 21st Precinct.
And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage John Stevenson, starring in tonight's production, Arctic Rescue, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
September 10th, 1852. Unless a miracle occurred, we were frozen in the Arctic for the rest of the winter months. A sea of ice surrounded us, and the ship took on a starboard list from the pressure of the floe. Rations were cut in food, water, and coal consumption. Furious gales came and went. There were more freezing temperatures, often as low as 35 below. The doctor was a busy man. Nearly all hands suffered from frostbite, many from gangrene. Conditions aboard the Jessica were deplorable. I thought they couldn't get any worse. October came. November. December. And we thought of home and the holidays. And of Lady Franklin. And Miss Craycroft sitting alone at the Christmas feast that was to be held in our honor. On Christmas Day, the cook outdid himself. We had a feast aboard the Jessica on the last of the salt pork and the beef. And with the last of the Allsup's ale and minced meat, the cook made pies. And we had a celebration. Christmas Day, 1852. Men, the captain has a word to say.
I dropped below to offer you my greetings on this holiday and to wish you a much happier Christmas next year.
Christmas Eve, 1853. 1 year later. We're still frozen in. Summer came and passed without an appreciable rise in temperature, and the ice failed to break up. Men living on pemmican, occasionally bear meat and seal blubber. No more lime juice. This means scurvy. The year also saw the loss of 11 men. The doctor and the ice pilot Hansen among them. 2 in a chase with a polar bear, 3 from scurvy, and the rest from gangrene. Most of the men had frostbite. Our second Christmas in the Arctic. The floe that holds the ship is drifting south down Peel Sound. We saw the shores of King William Island, and the captain sent 3 men on a sledge to look for food depots, or a rock can, anything. They returned today.
Where did you find it, Halliday?
In a cairn. We also found empty pemmican cans and bits of ship's timber.
Stuart, listen to this. It was written by Franklin himself. 1851. Latitude 69 degrees, longitude 98 degrees west. HMS Terror sank when ice broke. Erebus still frozen in. Is set since April 12th, 1850. We are deserting the Erebus, attempting overland march to Backsfish River to Hudson Bay. If unheard from, when this found, we must be considered lost. Sir John Franklin, Captain, HMS Erebus.
We've found what we came for.
Aye.
And they're all dead.
Aye.
If something doesn't happen pretty soon, we'll be dead too. Makes for a very Merry Christmas, eh, Captain?
Captain, I hear it. The ice. It's breaking.
Great cracks open in the ice, and then out of the water through the openings, another great mountain of ice would rise. Great slabs of surface 100 yards wide shattered up into the sank into the turning water. All around us, great jagged fingers of ice flashed up through the floe. All hands abandon ship! All hands abandon ship! All hands abandon ship!
Good. Get your saw. We're going out on the ice.
I could feel the ship jarring loose under me. Suddenly the Jessica wrenched sharply, throwing me across the deck. The last sound in my ears was the Jessica tearing loose from the ice.
Slowly, I became aware of a pain in my leg. Then of movement. I opened my eyes. The captain was helping me walk. I looked into the winter darkness for the familiar sight of the Jessica. I saw nothing. Nothing but ice. Skipper.
Feeling better, lad?
What about the ship?
Gone down.
The rest of the men?
I don't know. Gone. The floe separated. Most of them are on the other side.
Where are we walking to?
I don't know. I don't know. Keep walking. Aye. Let's keep walking. We'll find a Yule-log, Stuart. What's Christmas without a Yule-log in the hearth?
Move, Skipper. Move. We walked on and on, climbing jagged hummocks of ice, falling through thin spots. Legs got wet, froze. We beat the ice off, walking in circles through the Arctic night. Endless circles. We'll rest a bit.
Rest. Sleep a bit in the ice. Warm, comforting ice.
No, but don't sleep. Get awake, Captain.
Sleep, Stuart. The fire in the hearth will keep us warm. And tomorrow, Christmas morning, it'll be there, Stuart, you'll see.
What will be there?
It'll be there. You'll see.
Don't go to sleep, Captain. Don't sleep. My eyes grew heavy. I craved sleep. But the sleep was to die. I was ready. In the sky over the horizon, a star. The night was overcast. There were no other stars. Just one. Bright. In the distance. I could see it. It was still there. A bright star. Over the horizon. Captain! Up! On your feet! Captain, we're going to keep walking. Captain! Captain, get up!
I want to sleep. I'm tired.
You've got to get up. Got to get up. Keep on walking.
Walking? Where?
There. That way. Towards that star. We walked on. Slowly. I carry the skipper. Unconscious now. What could it be? There are no lights in the Arctic. No stars through the overcast. But we kept moving. And the star came closer. I couldn't believe what suddenly appeared. Through the darkness, directly beneath the star, was the vague outline of a ship. A ship! Wait! Wait! Help! Help me!
He's coming out of it. Stuart? Stuart!
Ship. I saw Starkey. Halliday.
In the flesh.
I saw a ship.
Yes, I know. You're on it. See?
But where did it come from? It's not the Jessica.
I know. It's the Erebus, one of Franklin's ships.
The one they deserted.
The Erebus? But where did it come from?
Well, there we were, all of us, except you and the captain, lying on that floe after the Jessica went down. Ready to die, just as we thought you'd died. And then, just as graceful as you please, we see a ship drifting slowly out of the fog, through the broken ice, right to us.
The captain. I left him out on the ice.
Oh, he's all right. We brought him aboard. And pretty soon we'll be on our way home.
Home?
Yes, the ice is open. We can get out. The Erebus will take us back. How's that for a Christmas surprise?
I follow the star.
All right.
He's sleeping. What was that he said? He followed a star?
Oh, he must have seen that lantern we hung on the mainmast. Mistook it for a star.
Oh.
And saved his life. And the captain. Well, being that it's still Christmas, I guess you could call it a miracle. Hey, Starkey?
Aye. I guess you could have that, sir.
Suspense, in which John Stevenson starred in tonight's presentation of Arctic Rescue. Next week, the story of a man who thought the best way to commit murder was to plan it first. We call it Variations on a Theme. That's next week on Suspense.
transcribed in Hollywood by Anthony Ellis. Tonight's script was written by Gus Bays. The music was composed by Lucien Marloweck and Rene Garrigan and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Herb Butterfield, Norma Barton, Lillian Vaya, Richard Peel, George Walsh, John Dodsworth, and Clayton Post.
Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News to be followed on most of these same stations by The Jack Carson Show. You hear America's favorite shows on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a transcribed story of a man who thought the best way to commit murder was to plan it first. We call it Variations on a Theme. So now, starring Parley Bear, here is tonight's suspense play, Variations on a Theme.
Hello? Who? Oh, no, she isn't here. Well, this is Mr. Milford. Oh, Mrs. Wadwood, how are you? Oh, fine, just fine. No, she left this morning. I'm taking the train this afternoon. No, the kids aren't going till Thursday. Yes, I imagine so. All right, I'll tell her you called. Oh, I'm sure she'll write. Goodbye. Joe? Joe, can you hear me? that was Mrs. Watwood. I told her you left this morning. I'll bet that old Paradin's going to miss you. But I won't. Come to think of it, not many people are going to care one way or the other. You're just a habit, Joe. A bad habit. There. That hurt your ears, Joe? Well, that's what I've had to put up with from you, yapping at me for the past 20 years, just banging on my ears. Bang, bang, bang. I hope you're comfortable in there, dear. You've got a long trip to take. It had taken me 5 years to work it out and a couple of minutes to do the thing. It was the morning we were to go up to the cabin for lunch. Beautiful Tuesday morning, July, warm, sunny. I had the trunk all ready for her. She was finishing packing in the bedroom, and as usual, nagging, griping.
Herman! Did you pack your hairbrush?
Yes, dear.
Oh, I don't know why you want to take all that fishing tackle. You never catch any fish anyway. What time are they coming for the luggage?
1 o'clock. I told you.
Oh, I don't feel right taking off and leaving the children to follow. If anything... Herman, for heaven's sake, what are you doing with that trunk? We don't need a trunk. Now, you get that thing put away. Ah, oh, it's all dusty. Look at my nice, clean room. What are you doing with that trunk, Herman?
I need it to pack, dear.
Have you gone out of your mind? We are packed.
No, not quite, Joe. I forgot something.
Now, you're not taking another thing.
Oh, yes, I am. I've wanted to do that for a long time. She wasn't dead. I didn't hit her hard enough for that. It was just out like a light. I taped her hand behind her back, folded her up nicely, and taped her ankles. Particularly, I enjoyed putting 2 yards of electrical tape over her mouth. She came to just as I got her in the trunk. You should have seen her eyes. Just before I put the lid down, I told her what was going to happen. You've never looked better, dear. Now, don't you worry about a thing, because I have taken care of everything. You're going on the train with the rest of the baggage. And when you get to Pinecrest, old man Butterfield will haul you out to the cabin. And then tonight, when it's nice and dark, I'm going fishing, dear, and I'm going to put you in the boat, take you out of the middle of the lake, and drop you down. It's a metal trunk. It'll sink. If you'd ever listened long enough to hear what anybody else was saying, you might remember that they have never found the bottom in that lake. Oh, you're thinking that Mr. Butterfield will wonder where you are or why you haven't showed up. That's what you're thinking, isn't it? Well, I'm going to be worried, see. I put you on the train this morning and had some work to clean up in the office, so I had to take the next one. But I'll figure you stopped off to see your mother in Greenwood. You said that you might, remember? You talked to her the other night and said you might. There were 2 witnesses. That sickening Mrs. Dolman and your dear girlhood friend, Louise. Their husbands hadn't since they'd murdered them, too. And besides, even if anybody does suspect anything, corpus delicti, you know, just find the body. And nobody's going to. It's worth taking a chance, dear. Have a nice trip. Oh, incidentally, in case you're wondering why I didn't kill you just now, I want you to have time to think for the next 3 hours. Go through a little what you put me through for the last 20 years. And keep your big mouth shut. I made some coffee and waited for the expressman. Every once in a while, I'd creep up quiet as a mouse, go over to the trunk, and give it a kick right where her ear was. And every time I did it, I felt a year younger. At 1 o'clock, right on the nose.
Mr. Milford?
That's right. You've come for the luggage.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's all there. Suitcases, trunk, fishing tackle.
Oh, gonna do a little fishing, huh?
I sure am.
Oh, the trunk's pretty heavy.
Oh, would you like me to give you a hand?
Oh, no, that's all right. I've got the dolly right outside.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here we go. Oh, boy, that thing really weighs.
Yeah, well, it's all right. There's nothing breakable in there. It is a good, solid trunk. They don't make them like that anymore.
I guess not. Well, I'll put the rest of the stuff on top of the trunk.
All right. So, you be careful of my tackle, that's all.
Oh, I know what you mean. Okay. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
1 trunk, 3 suitcases, fishing tackle. Will you sign here, please?
Sure. There you are.
Thank you.
What time will they be at the station?
Oh, about 20 minutes.
Oh, fine. I'm catching at 2 o'clock.
Oh, they'll be there.
That's fine. Thanks a lot.
Oh, don't mention it.
Thanks again.
Oh, have a good trip. Catch a fish for me.
Yeah, I will. Well, that's that. I went in the kitchen, had another cup of coffee, and didn't wash the cup and saucer or the coffee pot. I didn't have to, and there wasn't anybody to tell me I was messing up the kitchen. It was about 10 after 1 when the doorbell rang again.
Mr. Milford, can I use your phone?
Well, what's the matter?
Oh, I can't get the pickup started. It's that distributor again. I told him at the garage.
Yeah, but, see here, I've got a train to catch. You've got to get the luggage to the station.
Oh, I'll have them send out another pickup. It shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. I'm awful sorry.
Well, couldn't you fix it? Try again. I just can't miss that train.
I've tried, Mr. Milford, believe me.
All right, I suppose you'll have to. But please, tell them to hurry, will you?
Sure. Doggone distributor. I told him. Sure hate to put you out, Mr. Milford. But, hello? Let me have the routing desk. Okay, I'll wait. Oh, Mr. Milford, it never fails. When you're in a hurry, it never fails.
Do you think it's safe leaving the things out there? Maybe you ought to bring them in.
Oh, no. It's all right. As soon as I'm through, I'll go out and sit in the pickup.
Say, look, it's almost 1:15.
Don't you worry. We'll get your stuff there on time. Come on the phone. Hello. Hey, what's happening, honey? Well, I got a customer here's got to catch a train. My truck's broken down.
In 45 minutes.
Well, he says in 45 minutes. Okay. Oh, boy, it's some service. I work for them, mister, and it's a good job, but I tell you, sometimes, boy.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Hello, Herman. Joe still here?
No, she's gone, Louise. She caught the 11 o'clock train.
Oh, that's funny. She said she was going to stop by for a minute.
Well, she was late. Listen, I can't talk now. The expressman's here, and
Why, is that all your luggage on the trunk?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I think that's very sensible, taking the trunk. I told Joe she ought to. Things don't crease so much. Nothing annoys me more than having all my nice summer things all creased when I take them out of the suitcase.
You're going to have to excuse me, Louise. I'm trying to get this
express. Nervous, Herman. Goodness, you make a body nervous, being so nervous. You men, you and Jack. I'll bet Joe did all the packing, and all you have to do is see it gets to the station. You men, honestly, talk about nervous. When are Julie and William going up?
The day after tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're spending a couple of days to the beach with the Buford kids, huh? Honestly, I don't know how you let them go there alone. I've heard. Well, there's been talk of pretty wild parties. Of course, it's none of my business, but...
Thanks for stopping by, Louise. Goodbye.
Well, I think you're being very rude, Herman. I think you're being very rude.
What did they say?
Well, it's nothing to worry about, Mr. Milford. The other pickup will be on its way in a couple of minutes.
Oh, my. Look, it's 20 past 1.
Now, you just take it easy. I'll go out and see if I can't get that pile of junk started. Now, you just take it easy. You'll make it all right. Now, remember, take it easy.
They could have killed her. No, let Jack kill her. I had my own problems. I tell you, those men, she would notice the trunk. Oh, well, that wouldn't mean too much. I had the other one, a duplicate, already up at the cabin to bring back. Nobody'd seen me take it there. I was safe on that. I don't mind telling you, I was a little nervous waiting for that truck to come. Of course, there was some consolation. The sun was nice and hot, shining right on the trunk outside with it. Joe must have been roasting nicely. Just like that lamb she was always cooking. Every Saturday for 20 years, roast lamb. She knew I hated it. That's why she made it. No more roast lamb ever. Oh, the truck.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Pop. Julie. William. What are you doing home?
Oh, Mac Buford got sick. Appendix or something. Real square. We all got thrown out. No beach party, nothing.
So we decided to go up to the cabin with you.
Yeah. We put our suitcases on the truck outside, and we're all set. Let's go, Pop.
listening to Variations on a Theme, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. You can't expect the rest of the world to know how strongly you favor our democratic way of life unless you tell them, and you can tell them, the resounding truth about freedom by lending your support to the Crusade for Freedom. Yes, $1 sent to Crusade for Freedom will pay for a minute of truth on Radio Free Europe. Send your truth dollars to Crusade for Freedom, care of your local postmaster. That's Crusade for Freedom, care of your local postmaster. This has been a public service message from CBS Radio. And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Parley Bear, starring in tonight's production, Variations on a Theme. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I knew they'd be better off without her, but what could I say? Kids, I got your mother outside in the trunk. I'm going to drop her in the lake when we get up to the cabin. They like me. Maybe they like me better than her, but she was their mother. They might be sympathetic because she nagged them almost as much as she did me. Still, murder. I didn't think they'd go for that, so of course I didn't tell them. But I was in a mess. How was I going to get rid of her with the kids around? Well, they were all excited to get going and called a taxi, and by the time it got to the house, the other express truck had arrived and had taken off with the trunk and the cases. We made it to the station with 5 minutes to spare. And I guess I'm a fatalist. What's done is done. What's to be is to be. I figured I'd get rid of the kids long enough when we got to the cabin to take care of Joe. As we walked along the platform past the baggage car, I saw them loading the trunk. I must admit I got a kick out of the way they banged it around. Funny how you get a kick out of something like that.
You want the sports section, Pop?
Oh, no, thanks. I've read it.
You look tired.
I do.
You need a good rest.
Right. You and me'll do some fishing. Maybe this evening, huh, Pop?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
You know Mother. She'll have a million things for us to do when we get there. I can hear her now.
Let her stew. It's vacation time.
How was she this morning, Dad?
Oh, all right. Her usual stuff. Your mother's a rather nervous woman, you know.
Nervous? Oh.
Pop, you know, this year I've been studying some psychology, and, well, Pop, she's your wife and our mother. But, boy, if I've ever seen a psychotic, that's it.
No. You really shouldn't talk about your mother that way.
Oh, Dad, sometimes I wonder how you put up with her.
I'll bet right now she's complaining, all to herself. It's either too hot or too cold.
I imagine it's the heat more than the cold right now.
You know, I hope I find a man like you to marry. The patience of a saint.
He'd need to be if he married you.
Oh, hardy-ha-ha.
Oh, no. Don't quarrel, children.
Hey, Julie, you remember last year that fella, what was his name? Well, you remember, he was at the...
Something was bothering me. I mean, aside from the fact that my wife was doubled up in a trunk a few cars away from where we were sitting, it had been bothering me ever since we left the house, and suddenly I knew what it was. The heat. The heat. You know what happens to tape when it gets warm, wet, particularly if it's in contact with flesh. Well, I can tell you, it gets loose. And I had a horrible vision of that electrical tape over Joe's mouth slipping. Oh, I got almost here.
Dad?
I felt pretty warm myself.
Dad, are you all right?
I was daydreaming.
Very Freudian, Pop. Very Freudian.
Yes. Look, I I feel a little restless. I'm going to walk up to the smoker.
Hey, swell. We'll all go.
Well, I'd kind of like to go alone.
Go ahead, Jack.
I won't be long. We had about 10 minutes before the train pulled into Pinecrest. I thought that if she had made a sound, and when she made it, she made a lot of it, somebody would have heard her by now. There'd have to be some kind of a commotion at the baggage car. When I got to the connecting door to the baggage car, there wasn't a soul. Still, I wanted to be sure. If I was going to be caught, I might as well be caught right then. It really wouldn't make any difference, so I pounded on the door.
Yes, sir?
Well, I was a little worried about my fishing tackle. I wanted to be sure it was on the car.
I'm sorry, no admittance.
Oh. Yes, well, I suppose it's there.
Where are you getting off?
Pinecrest.
Well, there's a metal trunk, some suitcases, and tackle to be put off there.
Yes, that's mine. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Just before he closed the door, I caught a glimpse of the trunk. It was standing on end, her head down, I hope. I felt better. "20 minutes later, we were loading suitcases on Old Man Butterfield's pickup truck. He was mighty glad to see us and mighty worried about Joe not having arrived yet. I explained about her visit to her mother.
Well, sir, mighty glad to see you folks anyway. My stars, Mr. William, you've grown a lot.
We'd better get the trunk on now. William, you take this corner, and I'll get on the other side, and you push in the middle, Mr. Butterfield.
Okay, Pop.
Now, all together. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a mighty heavy trunk, Mr. Milford.
Oh, we're going to be up here for a month.
Yeah. Well, folks, fishing has been a mite slow, just a mite, but it should be picking up any day now. Fellas have been getting some nice strikes with bug-eyed poppers. Mighty nice strikes.
Oh, that's fine.
How's your wife, Mr. Milford?
Just fine, just fine.
Oh, proud piece of woman that, Mr. Milford. Proud piece. Miss Julie, you favor her.
Thank you, Mr. Butterfield.
You say she'll be up around 7, eh?
It depends on how long she stays where she is. It was a pretty narrow washboard road from the station to our cabin, about 8 miles. I could hear the luggage bouncing around in the back. The kids talked about everything that kids talk about when they start a vacation, and it made me feel good listening to them. Well, we got to the cabin, unloaded. Mr. Butterfield took off, and there we were, the 4 of us, including Joe in the trunk. It was a beautiful afternoon.
Boy, the old place hasn't changed. Pop, let's you and me go down to the lake. What do you say?
That's a good idea. I'll get things unpacked.
No, you kids go on down. I'd feel better putting everything away myself. It'll make your mother happier.
Oh, Pop.
We'll all do it together. Might as well start with the trunk. Yours and Mother's clothes in that, Dad?
Well, you kids take your suitcases up to your rooms. I'll take care of the trunk.
Okay.
We'll still have time to fish before dark, Dad.
They went upstairs. I had to be very fast now. I dragged the trunk into the storage room, left it there in the corner, draped an old sheet over it, and brought out the empty duplicate trunk, which I'd driven up to the cabin 6 months earlier. I was afraid they'd hear me, but they were too busy chattering to each other as they unpacked. Oh, Joe would have been proud of me if she'd seen how quickly I got the clothes out of the suitcases and put away. When the kids came back downstairs, the trunk stood open and empty in the middle of the floor.
Hey, that was quick work. Here, I'll help you put the trunk in the storeroom.
All right, Clint.
Lift it. I got it.
Careful.
Look out for your foot.
All right.
Pop, can I use your spinning outfit, I'd like to feel a bass on it. Oh, of course, I'm not saying it'd be as much fun as the old fly rod, but can I try?
Sure you can.
Oh, thanks. Gee, this is going to be a swell vacation, Pop.
I hope so.
What time do you think Mother will be here?
Well, she must have stopped off at Greenwood to see Grandma, so I imagine it ought to be around 7. She said it'd be about then.
All right. Why don't you two do some fishing for an hour, and I'll start dinner?
Fine, dear, fine. Oh, this is a wonderful steak, Julie.
Thank you, Dad.
Great.
Don't talk with your mouth full. You know, I'm getting worried about Mother. It's almost 7:30.
No, I wouldn't worry, dear. She's probably...
What was that?
What was what?
I heard it. Like a knocking.
Oh, woodpecker, probably.
Hey, that's no woodpecker.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, dear.
Where's it coming from?
It's not outside.
Pop?
A rat, maybe?
I think it's coming from the storeroom.
Sounds like a woman. Listen.
It is in the storeroom.
I'm scared.
You stay here. Come on, Pop.
Be careful.
Pop? It's coming from over there, under the sheet.
It's your mother, William. The tape slipped. I was afraid it would.
Pop?
Come on.
Mother's in there?
Mother?
Help me unstrap it, William. Don't just stand there.
What's she doing in there?
Well, that's a pretty stupid question. She'll answer. Oh, my house, she'll answer.
Pop. Oh, stop saying Pop.
All right. Stand back.
Ma, here, I'll get the tape off. Ma!
I'll have to think of something else. This won't work again, that's for sure.
He tried to murder me. He tried to murder me. That's what he did. He tried to murder me.
Herman, did you pack that hairbrush?
Yes, dear.
I don't know why you want to take all that fishing tackle. You never catch any fish anyway. What time are they coming for the luggage?
1 o'clock, I told you.
Oh, I don't feel right taking off and leaving the children to follow. If anything... For heaven's sake, what are you doing with that trunk? We don't need a trunk. You get that thing put away. Oh, all dusty. Look at my nice, clean room. What are you doing with that trunk, Herman?
Nothing, dear. I decided not to.
Not to? Not to what? What's the matter with you, Herman?
Nothing. Just a little idea I had. I'll think of something else.
Suspense, in which Parley Bear starred in tonight's presentation of Variations on a Theme. Next week, the true story of a daring escape through the Iron Curtain of Czechoslovakia. We call it Listen, Young Lovers. That's next week on Suspense. Transcribed in Hollywood by Anthony Ellis, who also wrote tonight's script. The music was composed by Rene Garrigan and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Paula Winslow, Helen Cleve, Sam Edwards, Barbara Fuller, George Walsh, and Peter Leeds. Joan Loring, young Broadway star and winner of both the Donaldson and the Critics Circle Awards, will be adding to her prestige as a dramatic actress tomorrow night when she stars in The Payoff Girl. Tomorrow night on The FBI in Peace and War. Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News to be followed on most of these stations by The Jack Carson Show. Radio Workshop presents the new and unusual Friday nights on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, Suspense is dedicated to the crusade for freedom. It is a true story in which it has been necessary to change the names of all principal participants in order that their survivors, still imprisoned, may live. So now, starring Charlotte Lawrence and Sam Edwards, here is tonight's suspense play, Listen, Young Lovers.
It was in Czechoslovakia a year ago, a high vaulted room in a prison's turret, the city of Prague. There was a boy named Yenrik, and he was 21. And until this morning, he'd been a student at the communist-controlled university. And now he faced his inquisitors.
Go to the window, Yenrik. Go on, Yenrik. Go to the window. Now, down there. Do you see the automobiles? The automobiles. Do you see them? Yenrik? Yenrik?
Yes, I see them.
And the people?
Yes.
And the building of the Ministry of War?
Yes.
Therefore they exist. Because you see them. You understand, Yenrik?
Please.
Yes, what is it?
Comrades.
Of course we are all comrades, Yenrik.
This comrade, for example.
Yes?
You see his medals?
Certainly, because they exist.
And his sword?
Yes.
His head?
Yes.
His mind? Comrade, his mind. Or this comrade's mind. Or this...
Oh, you should not have hit Yenrik, comrade.
Comrade Stefan.
Yes?
And why does he look out the window now? What is he searching for?
Shall we have you shot, Yenrik? Or is expulsion enough? What do you think, comrades?
Shoot him.
What was the book you were caught with, Yenrik?
Varieties of Religious Experiences by Henry James.
Western philosophy?
Have him shot.
Shoot him, have him shot. Blood and blood and blood. Yenrik.
Yes?
To kill you would be to fail. You are clever. You think. Therefore, if you are clever for us, thought for us, we could win. Therefore, did either of you comrades have a thing to say? Good. Therefore, Yenrik, for us to win you, the West will have lost you. Therefore, a victory for us, for communism. So go home. Go home and purge your mind. In about a day, I think, come to me and say to me, I am ready. Teach me to think. Teach me what you want me to know. Go home, Henry.
And for this they expelled you? For daring to read, for daring to think, to taste of a knowledge
For
that...
this, Mulata.
But you are a student.
Student and violator. Scholar and heretic. Sinner who stood before his inquisitors and... You should have seen their faces, Mulata.
No.
No. Not gentle Mulata. No beautiful Mulata. No child Mulata.
Yenrik,
Yes.
this that they have done to you,
Yes.
after it will come arrest and torture and imprisonment and the labor camp
Mulata.
and death, as it came to Miklos, who was also a student, who also read of alien philosophies, who also tasted
Milana.
of death. Death.
Stop it. It will not be so. It will not.
You must go away from here.
I will not leave you, Mulata.
You must. You must.
Listen to me. Only to my voice and to nothing else. Not to fear, nor to horror, nor to the madness around us. Only to me. I love you, and I will not go from you. And we will marry as we had planned.
When you've finished your studies.
I will find something else to do here. Not a student, laborer then, or shopkeeper, or beggar. There will be something else. We will make a life.
Out of what? Out of terror, out of darkness, out
No
of
more.
fear.
We speak of it no more, Mulata. What time is it?
It is almost the hour.
Turn on the radio, then. Lower. Turn it lower.
Yenrik,
Yes?
come here to me. Close to me. Sit with me. Watch the fall of night. And hold me.
Mulata. Gentle Mulata.
This is the voice of Free Czechoslovakia and the voice of Radio Free Europe, bringing you the news of the free world, bringing you the knowledge that you are not forgotten, and the hope of your future liberation. The voice now of Free Czechoslovakia. This is Password Little Garden. Dear Mother, we know these are the worst times you have ever lived through, but you must believe that one day we will see you again. This is Password Hephaistos, calling my friends from the Krumlov area. The border crossing was hard and exhausting, but it was a success. Now I am well, and I see true freedom. Tonight, as we promised, we're going to tell you about the Free Europe College in Strasbourg. Like Radio Free Europe, the college is maintained by the voluntary contributions of the American people. It is for students who have escaped from the Soviet orbit, from Soviet tyranny, from Soviet terror.
You hear, Yenrik?
For students who have
You hear
fled
what they
across
say?
the border and come to Germany,
Yes.
where they have found a climate of freedom and of learning.
Yenrik, why have you turned it off wash?
I thought I heard a step on the stairs in the hall. Yes, I did hear. Turn on the light, Mulata, quickly.
Well, perhaps it is only the man who lives up...
Stepan.
Comrade Stepan, who was walking the streets in loneliness and in regret, and who thought to call on a friend, on a comrade. May I?
Come in. You know Mulata.
Of course. You brought her once to the university, and her sweet young face made such an impression amongst us. We talked of it, of you, of your lovely fiancée, Mulata.
Why are you here?
I told you. It was a night of loneliness and of regret. Oh, how harsh we were with him, Mulata, with your love. How almost brutal. What savage blows we struck against his sensitive brain. And I became concerned for him. I became... But sure, young man, a man of intellect, of perception. And see his face. How he knows I lie. How he knows I have no concern for him, nor pity, nor rage. But you, Mulata, you have such emotions for him, and love also. Then tell him, convince him, take his hand, and lead him back to us with your young love. For this, that one day and soon your gentle arms will not have to cradle his corpse. Tomorrow, Yenrik, and we will welcome you back with such warmth and joy. Good night, Yenrik. Mulata?
Yenrik.
Yes?
What was said on the radio. The Free Europe College in Strasbourg. For those who escape.
I cannot.
You must. You will.
Not without you.
Then with me. If not alone, with me.
It is 300 miles. 300 miles of guards and border patrols, informers and dogs. Wilderness, hunger, hiding.
With me. With me. Yenrik.
Yes. Yes, but it must be now, immediately now. Get your coat, a scarf for your hair. If you have candy bars.
Yes.
Quickly, Mulata, quick.
Yes. My scarf, my coat, candy bars, and this. Take it, Yenrik.
What is it?
The same that I have for myself. A small bottle of liquid, of poison that is kept here for insects and vermin.
Mulata.
If we are caught, we will drink it. Together we will drink it. And this way they will never separate us. This way we need never leave each other.
Yes.
A thing they had talked about for a long time now decided. But how to get to freedom. No passport, so they dare not trust trains nor other public conveyances. Nothing but their feet to carry them. Two sweethearts out for a casual stroll. So they walked. Prague to Kladno. Across the Vltava River, swollen by spring rains. To Kraslice, and close to the border now. Lonely paths through the mountain roads and across fields. To the young lovers, almost a pleasant adventure. Almost.
Run! Run! Quickly, in.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Don't talk. See, there near the wall. The straw. We will rest.
Now go home. Back to the house, son. When the colt will be born, I will call you and you will name it.
No move.
Not yet, friend of mine? Then what shall we name your colt? My son wants to know. Ludmilla? And if a stallion, shall we name him? Out! Out! Or with this pitchfork? Let me look at you. Step closer to the light. Two of you. Two of you now.
We're not thieves.
No?
Truly, we're not thieves.
Then what?
Hikers.
Throw down your papers then, so I'll know it. Well?
There are no papers.
Refugees?
Yes.
From what?
Terror.
The government of Czechoslovakia?
Yes.
I throw down the pitchfork for whatever symbol you wish to make of it. I am your friend.
Oh, how great.
Hush, hush. Now, listen to me.
Yes?
Sleep. And at dawn I'll wake you with directions to the border which is nearby. And there is a guard I know who is there. And I will send you to him, and he is a friend. And he will show you how to get into Germany. I envy your courage.
Halt! Raise your arms over your head.
They're not there. You are Radek? The guard?
I am Radek. Come forward.
are the two who slept in my friend's barn. The pretty young girl and her young man. The refugees.
Yes. He said you would be our friend. Radek, show us how we could get into Germany. And for this we are...
You are what?
Grateful. Because he was kind. As you are kind.
And the final act of kindness. You are under arrest.
No.
Yes, I say it. You are under arrest.
You are listening to Listen, Young Lovers, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
For 70 million captive people in Soviet satellite Europe, the only source of truth is news from the outside world. The powerful, dependable, truthful broadcasts of Radio Free Europe keep this lifeline open. Sponsor a minute of truth behind the Iron Curtain. Radio Free Europe broadcasts up to 20 hours of truth a day to Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia, Romania, Hungary, and Poland. 70 million people in the Soviet satellite countries who once knew and loved freedom are depending on you. Send your truth dollars to Crusade for Freedom in care of your local postmaster. Remember, truth is what the Kremlin fears most. Help wield the free world's strongest weapon.
And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Sam Edwards and Charlotte Lawrence, starring in tonight's production, Listen, Young Lovers, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Betrayal. Escape to freedom, which was a thing of loneliness and of sobbing and of storm, halted now and betrayed, made futile by a man who had given them a night's sleep in his barn and spoke gently of refugees and of courage and of help to be had from his friend, the guard. And while they slept, informed to the man of the automatic rifle who stood guard on the Czech-German border, who was communist, who was called Radek.
Lambs, lost little lambs, to have huddled in his barn from the storm, to have believed in such as him, to come so innocent to the slaughter, to Radek.
And you would kill?
You, if you try something. Her with a pretty young face. Not her, perhaps, if a tear fell on such soft cheek. Come, move.
Where do you take us?
To the hut there, where there is phone. I call the proper authorities. Tell them Radek has snared two more.
Radek.
How you say my name, and without fright.
The thing you said.
What thing?
That you would kill him.
If he wants it, if he must pretend to you he is a hero.
He is no hero.
Good.
Not a hero. Something else.
Milana.
Something else you are. Coward and traitor. Student who is superior to all around him. And arrogant. And looks down upon those around him.
Upon you, little one. Upon such prettiness as you. Pretty one.
Henrik.
Run, Milana, run!
The trick and run across the border into eastern Germany, and keep running. And behind them the shouts of clamor and the braying of dogs. And like animals hide, run again into darkness. And under the shield of night, exhausted sleep. Dawn then, and the highlands of eastern Germany to walk, and the forests of Bomerwald. Dangerous to walk the roads because they spoke no German, therefore easily recognized as foreigners, easily arrested. and not dare ask for food, but walk where wilderness is, wander the bogs of Turingerwald, and dig for food.
Ulrich, I have found another.
Good. We will have a feast. Here, Milada, under the tree.
Shelter, warmth, food, and with my love. What more to ask?
Freedom. Eat.
I do not want to eat.
You must. These berries, and garnished with roots. And after, we will hunt for... Lie close to the ground. Very close, and do not utter a sound. Breathe into the earth.
Kaninchen. Kleine, wilde Kaninchen aus dem Wald. Und ich bin der Jäger, und ich habe euch gefunden und gefangen. Steht auf. Auf! Und ich töte euch.
We are refugees. We are not dangerous.
Sie sprechen. Der wilde Kaninchen.
He does not understand us, Milada.
Der wilde Kaninchen.
As if he were mad.
But his pistol, he holds it so close to your face. He will kill you. He will.
Ich habe euch vom Wald aus beobachtet.
What? I do not...
gerade. Essen. So. Hungry.
Oh, he is hungry. The signs he made.
Give them to him. Give him the roots and the berries.
Take them.
Nein.
Please take
Nein.
them. Oh, you are hungry. Take them. We will find others.
Oh. Danke. Danke.
By now, they'd lost all track of time. Some days they covered as much as 10 or 15 miles. Other days they knew they were lost and had to retrace their steps. And always there was the hunger, and always the feeling somehow that the trip would never end.
I can't go on. I can't.
Milada.
I can't.
Milada.
You go. You can make it.
No. No, listen.
What?
Listen. Can you hear it?
A car.
We must be near a highway. We'll ask someone for a ride.
Yes. No.
But we...
No. Suppose it is a communist who stops for us. Immediately there will be questions.
And there are always the bottles, Milada. The bottles of poison. We'll die together, and that will be our victory.
Yes.
Then come.
Ulrich?
Yes?
Pray.
Yes.
Was there ever such a prayer? That a vehicle should come by? That the driver of the vehicle be not a communist? That the driver be not a communist?
Please, will you give us a ride?
Oh, Sie sprechen nicht Deutsch?
Nein. We don't speak German. We're Czech.
The children. Get into the wagon. Quickly. The car is coming. Get down on the floor. The car approaching has a spotlight. It's a patrol car. Quickly, quickly. Over there. You see it? The bridge?
Yes.
Now is the best time to cross it. Dawn. We don't know how to thank you. Driving all night.
Oh, no, it is I who should thank you. To give me the opportunity to kindle whatever flame of protest. Now listen, children. Take advantage of the trees along the road. Go from one to the other. Then the bridge. Then the American zone. And then freedom. God bless you both and be at your side. Hallahee! Hallahee!
Quickly now, across the road. Now, as the woman said, from tree to tree.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now.
guards. Russians.
Walking their post. And across the bridge is freedom. Across the bridge is life.
Yes.
While the guards are walking away.
Yes.
Milada, get up quickly before the guards see us.
My ankle. I turned.
I'll help you. Arm around my shoulder.
Oh, I can't. I must have broken it.
The Russian guards. They've seen us.
Henrik. Run, beloved, run.
Not without you.
Leave me.
The bottle.
Leave me.
I will drink of mine.
Oh, beloved.
No separation. No torture.
Yes. And I will drink of mine.
Вы арестованы. Пойдемте со мной.
Hey, what's happened here? What's the matter?
Two young people. Too much whiskey.
What do you think, Sarge?
They're on our side of the bridge.
Please?
We'll take care of them.
But they are our people.
Our side of the bridge, Commissar. See the marker? Our side.
But they
You
have
help
to...
the girl, Nolan. I'll take care of the guy.
But
Knock it off, Jack. Our side of the bridge. They belong to us. What's the matter, sis? Too much of the booze?
Poison.
What?
Poison.
Yeah.
Poison, she said.
Yeah. The guy, too. Come on, let's get a move on.
Radio Free Europe, brought to you by your friends in America. The voice now of Free Czechoslovakia.
This is Password Greenbauer, calling our friends in the area of Prague. My friend and I have married. We attend now the Free Europe College in Strasbourg. Students who escape the Russian orbit are welcome here. We wait for you with open arms.
There is freedom here, and the teaching of ideas. Free ideas for which millions have been and are still ready to die. I hold out my hand to all of you.
And this is Password Traviata, calling Yelava region. Greetings and remembrances to all our dear friends. We wait for you. We greet you from a free world.
Suspense, in which Charlotte Lawrence and Sam Edwards starred in tonight's presentation of Listen, Young Lovers. Next week, a story of a ghost town and a practical joke that wasn't. We call it Hollywood Hostages. That's next week on Suspense. Produced and directed in Hollywood by Anthony Ellis. Listen, Young Lovers was adapted for Suspense by Morton Fine and David Friedkin from the report of David Cameron. The music was composed by Lucien Morawek and Rene Garrigan and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Edith Ann Gold, Victor Perrin, Frank Goss, Joseph Kearns, Jim Nusser, Herb Butterfield, Lou Merrill, Jack Crucian, Leonard Weinrib, and Joe Cranston.
You can find in your favorite newspaper full factual accounts of happenings from all over the world. But no such service waits for the 70 million captive people behind the Iron Curtain. Their papers, like their rulers, are puppets, top-heavy with red propaganda and distortions. To learn the truth, these people look to Free Europe Press, coming in by balloon from the outside world. You can help spread this truth and help these captive millions who once knew freedom. Send your truth dollars for Free Europe Press to Crusade for Freedom in care of your local postmaster. Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News to be followed on most of these same stations by The Jack Carson Show. Radio Workshop presents the new and unusual Friday nights on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a story of a ghost town and a practical joke that wasn't. We call it Hollywood Hostages. So now, starring Eve McVeigh and Tom Brown, here is tonight's suspense play, Hollywood Hostages.
Murder. No director in Hollywood except the boy genius would have sent us out here.
There must be a ghost town closer to Hollywood.
There is. Beverly Hills after midnight.
I don't get it.
Get what?
Why he has to come to the middle of the desert to shoot this stuff. I can design sets that look a lot more like desert than this.
Oh, realism, my dear.
Well, Murphy does make good pictures.
The peasants know the difference. A picture's a picture.
I'd settle right now for the picture of a drink.
Well, look out at the sand.
For what?
Maybe you'll see a mirage with a drive-in.
How come everything on this road is closed?
Same reason Potterville closed. Ghost Town used to be a tourist trap, and the new freeway bypassed it. No tourists. No trap, just this lousy road.
I wonder how Murphy found out about this place.
From another zombie.
What's your knock on Murphy?
I hate practical jokers. This your first crack at a Murphy picture?
Mm-hmm.
You got a million laughs coming. If you live through.
He can't be that bad.
Oh, you don't know how far that guy goes. I know him good. Too good. You know what he did the day I got married? He had his lawyer file suit for divorce in my name.
That's not very funny.
And last year, I go to Florida to find an alligator farm. Murphy calls a pal who puts my picture in every post office.
Post office?
Sure, saying I'm wanted by the cops in Detroit. Oh, yeah. Hilarious when I got picked up, too. The cops down there wired Detroit. Detroit wired they were sending a detective to bring me back. I was in a can a week before Murphy had him let me out. I told that boy genius this morning, though. One more of his jokes this trip, and he gets himself a new location scout. I don't need him. I can always go back to being an unemployed comic.
Tommy?
Yeah.
Is that the ghost town out there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be. Potterville's 180 miles from Hollywood.
The speedometer says 170.
Oh, dandy. 10 more miles and we'll be no place.
Bad, thanks. Just hang on, partner. We get inside. You can lay down. Man, look at them cobwebs. Ain't nobody open that door for a spell. In we go, partner. Ain't no furniture, Fred. Just you lay down here. On the floor. Oh, I know, Fred. Them bullets hurt real bad.
Doc. I need a doc.
Fred, you seen for yourself. Ain't no doctor here. Ain't a living soul in this town except us.
But, Texa, I'll die.
Yeah. Guess you will, bet.
Too bad, but no sense in me waiting.
You can't just walk out.
Staying and dying with you ain't gonna be much help, is it? It's up to the others. Don't guess they'd be bust up splitting the bank money 2 ways instead of 4. Must have already got to my place. I can't keep waiting.
Thanks. Don't leave me.
Well, there ain't much else I can do, Fred. You just got a real bad piece of luck. That cop don't nick our gas tank, we'd have been at the cabin. So long, Fred.
Jack, no, please.
Grab your gun.
I knew you would walk out.
Grab your gun and drag yourself to this window. Car's covered.
Cops?
It's too far to tell. It must be. This road don't go nowhere else.
How'd they know we were here?
That cop who shot the gas tank. Maybe I didn't get him.
I don't see no car.
It's hidden now by one of them dunes. There.
Yeah.
Now be ready. They are cops. We both better be shooting.
Welcome to Powderville.
Well, at least you've got no trouble parking. Got your camera?
Mm-hmm.
Creepy looking, Johnny.
Yeah. Now, hold it, Tommy. I want to get a shot of this board sidewalk.
Oh, yeah. You can't hardly get them no more.
Step back a little.
You, like those Polaroid cameras?
Great. You get your picture in a minute. If it comes up wrong, you shoot another one. Now we pull the film through till it clicks. And the picture develops by itself.
Well, come on, let's case the joint while that shot's cooking, huh? Better get a shot of that Wells Fargo office.
Okay.
Sure. Leave Wells Fargo out of a Western, you can't get a seal of approval.
Listen. You hear anything?
Sure. Boards in the sidewalk. They squeak like $3 shoes.
No, a voice.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, that's from inside that place, the hotel. It's Conrad Hilton buying the joint.
No, I heard a man's voice.
Well, that sounds stronger than it looks.
I mean it.
Sure. Okay, you did hear a man's voice. Now, come on, let's make for the snapshots and curl up with a good bartender, huh? Hey, how many are you going to take?
I'm just about finished.
Mm-hmm. Get one of that blacksmith shop?
Not yet. Let's go around the corner first so I can get...
Hey, kid, drop the other shoe.
Tommy, that car, those holes in the windshield.
Air conditioning.
They're bullet holes.
I now pronounce you J. Edgar Hoover.
But what do you suppose...
That car's a prop. It wouldn't be a kosher ghost town without a bullet-riddled car.
Oh?
Sure, you're jumpy. Too much fresh air will do that.
Well, I'll get this shot at the hotel.
Another one in the hotel?
I need this angle.
Well, go ahead. I'll go look around. Back in a minute. Great. What is it?
A man.
A what?
I saw a man.
Oh, come on
No,
now.
honest, I got him.
You what?
In the picture.
What did he pose as?
He stuck his head out of the door just as I was taking the picture.
Yeah? Well, then what happened?
I looked up.
And he was gone?
Yes. But...
Oh, honey. The way you dramatize, you...
There he is.
Hey.
He's running to our car.
Yeah, and I left the keys in it. Come on. Hey. Hey, you. fat, dirty, little. No good, conniving.
Do you know him?
No, not that guy in the car, but don't you get it? He was planted.
Planted?
Yeah, to grab our car and strand us in the middle of the desert. Oh, I can hear that Murphy laughing now.
Murphy?
Natch!
This isn't funny.
No, it is to him. He's got no phone, no water, no food, and it's 23 miles to the nearest main highway.
Tommy?
Yeah.
Got another cigarette?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can I have one?
Well, as soon as Murph sends the car back, they're in the glove compartment.
Thanks loads.
Oh, I told you. Murphy's a million laughs.
Those clouds are coming this way.
That's all we need now. Rain.
How long do you think we'll be here?
Till Murphy stops laughing.
It's almost 4 o'clock now. Oh, Tommy, I felt a drop of rain.
Yeah, me too. On your feet. Come on.
Where? Every roof is full of holes.
Well, a hotel's 2 stories. Maybe the water's not coming all the way down.
That's where Murphy's friend came from.
Come on, let's run. Careful on the steps.
Oh, I'm soaked.
Yeah, and if you get pneumonia, Murphy laughs all the time you're in the hospital. It's a tie-up with Blue Cross.
Oh, let's go inside.
Go ahead.
Thanks.
Cheery little spot. Charles Adams does the decoration.
Well, at least it's dry in here. And...
Now what?
By the window. On the floor. A man. There's blood on his shirt. He's alive.
Natch, don't you get it? It ain't blood, it's ketchup. He's another Murphy stooge from Central Casting.
You sure?
Look, kid, I'm a veteran. 6 pictures with Murphy. Now, come on, back to the porch. All right, keep groaning, kid. You'll win an Academy Award.
I'm cold. Let's go inside.
And listen to that bum play Russian comedy?
We've got to do something.
Like to play a chucker polo?
How about walking to the highway?
Oh, not in that water. I'm not giving Murphy that satisfaction.
His conscience has to bother him sometimes.
He's got a cast iron heart.
Tommy.
What?
A car. That is a car, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If it was on the main highway, we couldn't see it, could we?
No, it's headed here, all right.
Oh, he finally took pity.
All right. He's human.
Actually, now that it's over, it wasn't a bad joke.
Oh, he may not be through yet.
What else can he do once we get the car back?
Wait till he opens the door on this side. I'd hate to wait this long and then drown on the sidewalk. Well, I hope you called Murphy and he got a real big laugh. Oh, no, you don't have to come up here for us. Just open the car door.
He's got a gun.
Oh, brother, that Murphy keeps that joke going longer than he...
Get back.
Look, the joke is over. Let's go.
You ain't a-going no place.
Oh, yes, we are. Now, I've had enough of
I
this.
ain't never shot a lady yet. But, man, there's always a first time. Now, both of you, get back inside. Come on.
Say, pal.
Yeah?
How about itty-bitty buddy on the floor? How's he getting back? By camel?
Wish we could take Fred.
Well, there's plenty of room in the back. Fred!
Well, that's nice of you, ma'am, but we better be going without him.
Wait here with him, Grace. I'll open the car doors. Come on.
I'm getting under the blanket back here.
Do we have to keep playing?
Lady, just you and him don't say nothing wrong. When we get to that there roadblock.
Yeah, I know. Because you'll have that there shooting iron pointing at my head.
That's right.
Yeah, I know that whole bit.
Mister, I don't rightly know why, but I like you. Guess maybe it's because you don't scare you.
Oh, I've been working for Murphy too long. But no more. I've had enough. The minute we hit Hollywood, I'm through.
That roadblock is right up ahead a piece.
I reckon so, partner.
Mister, I told you once. I don't like folks making fun of me.
Tommy, please.
Now, I'm getting under this here blanket again.
Mm-hmm. Sweet dreams.
You better slow down.
Now, don't you start giving me orders.
Shouldn't we get in that line?
Huh? Oh, I guess so.
What a night.
Murphy's probably having a party at Forest Lawn.
There's a police car.
Well, how do you think they blocked the road with meatballs?
Remember what I said.
Oh, I'll never forget that. 407 years.
The policeman's waving his flashlight.
Okay. Oh, fine. Now the window's stuck.
Good evening.
No comment.
We're looking for two men. One about 5 feet 7 inches tall, black hair, around 30 years of age. Might be wounded. The other man's about 6 feet 1 inch tall, about 35 years old, blonde hair, and he's wearing blue jeans and cowboy boots.
Yes, officer.
We haven't seen them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tommy.
Lady, you almost just got killed.
Tommy, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you tell the
let
officer?
Murphy tell everybody at the Derby he scared me so much I copped a plea? No, ma'am.
But the policeman, he described this one, and the man on the floor back in Powderville.
Sure, I told you how far Murphy goes. He's even got the cops in on this one.
It stopped raining.
Bully, that makes my whole day.
Slow up, mister.
What for?
Turn off this here road just over the hill.
But that's not the way back to Hollywood.
We ain't a-going back to Hollywood, ma'am.
Where are we a-going?
Meet them other two fellas. They got the money. They threw it in their car when we run out of the bank.
Tommy, it's true.
Look, suppose I believe you. Now, mind you, I'm not
Don't
saying...
rightly seem to matter.
What happens after we get to the cabin?
Be crossing that bridge when we come to it, ma'am. Here, mister. Turn off here.
Okay.
That's fine. Now, just keep it driving up into them hills.
Pretty little hovel.
Drive around to the side.
Oh, you only use the front way of formal clothes, huh?
Turn off the motor. Now, give me the keys.
Oh, now, come on, pal. How far do you want
Give
an
me
idiot?
the keys.
Tommy, please. Here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now what happens?
I'm a-going in the side here. You two go knock on the front door.
Why?
I'd just like to be sure my friends ain't a-planning no surprise for me.
You mean...
Just do like I say. Open the door.
knock on the front door.
Look, why should we... Okay, I've seen more guns today than Gene Autry. Come on, Grace.
Tommy, can we run for it?
Where?
Any place.
Too dark, too far to the highway.
Tommy.
Oh, now I'm sure this is a Murphy gag.
Are you crazy? Somebody inside's been
Honey,
shot.
in a minute that door will open and old Tex will say, I guess you folks can come in now.
But those were gunshots.
Sure. And inside we'll see two more guys playing dead.
It's him.
Bitch.
Guess you folks can come in now.
Hark, the evening coyotes.
Tommy.
What?
How can you?
Oh, stiff upper, old girl.
Tommy, I'm scared. What's he doing in that room?
Probably calling Murphy and giving him a blow-by-blow.
But those two men on the floor and the money, that was real money.
Murphy always goes for good props. Now, honey, use your head. Look, if those two guys were going to double-cross him, would they wait here till he got back? No, they just walk out with the loot.
Maybe it's like he said. They needed someplace to hide, but they didn't need him to take a share.
I can tell a Murphy story when I hear one. Oh, I'll get the gas saver for killing Murphy, but it'll be worth it.
Okay. Come on. You too, ma'am.
We really going home?
Just partway. As far as the cliff.
Oh, that does it. If Murphy thinks he's throwing in a hokey bit like pushing the car off the cliff...
Shut up.
I'm not...
Tommy, he isn't fooling.
You're right, lady. Now, both of you turn and walk out that door. When we get to the car, we'll...
Don't move! Don't move! I'll take that gun. This time, Parker, we got stronger cuts. All right, hold him out. One of you own this camera?
Me? Where did you find it, officer?
One of our men found it in the hotel at the old ghost town. Looked inside, saw the last picture you took.
The last picture?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the one where he stuck his head out of the door.
That's right. We recognized him, got a tip on his cabin, and made it here as quick as we could.
Did I tell you?
Tell me what?
In the nick of time, in popped the Marines.
Mister, I got to hand it to you. You took this pretty calm.
Okay, now let's cut the clowning, huh?
But didn't you know he's Tex Parker, wanted for 3 murders, and from the looks of it, he's 2 more over there.
Those guys dead. Who are you kidding?
I'm not kidding, buddy.
Okay. Okay, so the gag's finished now, huh? All right. Okay, boys, wake up. Time for wakey. Don't call us, we'll call you.
Tommy, don't.
Come on. Hey, that's not ketchup. They are dead.
Tommy.
Okay, lady. We'll go as soon as we can bring him to.
Suspense, in which Eve McVeigh and Tom Brown starred in tonight's presentation of Hollywood Hostages. Next week, we bring you the true story of 5 polar explorers and their race against death. We call it The Diary of Captain Scott. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed in Hollywood by Anthony Ellis. Tonight's script was written by Jerry Lewis. The music was composed by Lucien Moraweck and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Don Diamond, Frank Gerstle, and John Larch.
A hot money racket proves to be a shortcut to the cooler once the FBI in Peace and War goes into action tomorrow night. Harassed by personal debt, the cashier at the $50 window at a large racetrack falls for a big-time racketeer's scheme for passing stolen money through the betting window. But before he can solve his personal financial problems, the FBI in peace and war gets on his trail, and not long after that, another welcome mat appears, right outside the gate to the penitentiary. For a thrill-a-minute drama, don't miss the FBI in peace and war at this same time tomorrow night. Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News, to be followed on most of these stations by The Jack Carson Show. The Radio Workshop presents the new and unusual Friday nights on the CBS Radio Network.